Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
2nd and goal. Attacking the goal line to our left. Three receivers wide side right. They're taking a lot of time.
Yeah, you got to snap the ball now.
10 on the play clock. Raiola sends a man in motion right to left. That's Ja'Cory Party. Raiola takes a snap. Fade route. Back run to the end zone. 50-50 ball. Was it caught? Touchdown, Huskers. Fade route. Back right of the end zone. Going up high to make the catch. And Isaiah Hunter for the Husker touchdown.
Guys did a good job scoring twice, and didn't shoot ourselves in the foot. Made some plays there. Great job.
Raiola takes a snap. Play fake. Sings one back up to the end zone, and that is caught for the touchdown. Back line of the end zone. He fired it over the middle, and Nebraska has 6.
Easy breezy.
Dane Key over the middle made the catch on the slant. 41 seconds. Husker 33, Bearcats left to right. 2 receivers each way. Sorsby leads in, takes the snap, back pedals the throw. Blitz picked up. Harris went out deep right sideline. 50-50 ball. It's picked off. The black shirts with the dagger. Malcolm Hurrdat with a giant pick. Sails the night for the Big Red.
We just got to get better every week. We've made a commitment as a team to each other and a commitment to improving throughout the course of the year. I just like the demeanor on the sideline. I like the demeanor in the locker room. So, again, I think every time we go out to compete and we win the football game, great. We'll just have to look at the things we have to do better. But I love seeing guys fight. So we'll try to build off that.
Good morning. Welcome into Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. DB will be joining me shortly. As you can imagine, he had a little bit of a short turnaround last night, coming from KC, flying back with the team, driving back to Omaha. So he'll be here in a little bit. In the meantime, I've got my 2 intrepid producers with me. Well, 3 really. Shane is here as always. Appreciate you, Shane. And
Robbie.
And getting that intro together with the late night audio. But I've got Rico and Austin joining me here today as well. Boys, how we doing?
Rico, are you in a war zone right now? People are yelling.
I'm not doing anything. My kids are downstairs. Their playroom is right next to my office. So
that was a mistake. You gotta map that out a little bit better.
Well, didn't think that I'd be having to do a live show. So
it's all right. Here we are. Austin last night got ran into by a couple dogs. You got the kids going on, but no matter what happened, Nebraska got a W. That's what's important.
Yeah, I mean, that just recovering from it, that's the first time. Shane, great job, as always, with the intro, but that's the first time I've heard Kyle's callback of the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was pretty – that's something that's so underrated in, like, everything we're talking about when it comes to this stuff, that it's just – I mean, like, how do you even handle a moment like that with the Malcolm Hurrdat stuff and everything else? And then you had the Greg Sharp, like, memorial, like, right at the beginning of the broadcast. They handled all that, from what I can tell, pretty well. But I think the hardest part for Kyle was, what a great big moment. It sounded like he did a really great job in that. I'd love to go back and listen to the whole thing, but I just don't know how many people were listening to this on radio. I mean, it felt like even the olds were, like, hanging out at Arrowhead last night. It was crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how many people, like we said yesterday on the show, I don't know how many people were left in the state of Nebraska. It didn't seem like very many, but Austin, you were there. Like, the atmosphere, like, kind of paint me a picture here, because it's on TV. It was translating pretty well, I thought. But I mean, we heard everything from they had to open the gates early at Arrowhead because Nebraska fans were backing up the highways. Like,
Yep.
what? Like, kind of paint the picture for me from when you got down there.
Now, I don't want to, like, be a stick in the mud when it comes to some of this stuff, but the people that we were with, the wonderful Glocks, are gigantic Chiefs fans as well as Husker fans. So they've dealt with this sort of scenario before multiple times. Our cricket's back, by the way. So they were telling us that this is pretty regular, that like at Arrowhead or like Kaufman or anywhere like that, if it gets backed up enough, they will just open the gates earlier than what the tell time is. So that way they can move the traffic along. But regardless, it was such an interesting environment that I've never been in before, because it was still a Cincinnati home game. And I don't know if if this came across the TV broadcast at all, but the Nebraska band was not there. The Nebraska PA announcer, the Nebraska ads, the Nebraska commercials, the Nebraska promos, any of that, like the hype up, any of that stuff was not there at all. So you have an entire stadium filled of scarlet and cream cheering their faces off and booing the Cincinnati Bearcats as like Brendan Sorsby on the big screen is like pointing at you and saying, "Get up, Bearcat fans, it's time." Like it was a super awkward sports environment, but it actually led to some really, really great moments. Like every time they would go to any type of official review, specifically the incomplete pass to fumble, that was so nuts to just stand there and hear the entire stadium start to hit a "Go Big Red" chant right in the Cincinnati fans' face. It was to not be rattled by that, by the Bearcats, like that will be the toughest environment that Cincinnati plays in all year, bar none. There will not be another place that they go to that will have that type of environment anymore. I mean, it was bonkers. And it was, I'll give credit, you know, obviously I've been pretty vocal on this show about how I feel about some things when it comes to fans, but this was really good. It felt like everyone was locked in, everyone was engaged, everyone was for it. And Arrowhead's Wi-Fi is not that great, so no one had any reason to be looking at their phones. So that was also,
you know, that's an underrated part of this. You got to be locked in when the Wi-Fi is bad, right? I think there's something to that. Honestly, the atmosphere came through, I thought, really well on the TV. It seemed like a super pro Nebraska crowd. It seemed like everybody was locked in, ready to go. And I do wonder if it skewed a little younger than your typical Nebraska game, just because of the travel and things like that. I don't know, Austin, you'd be able to tell me a little bit more in terms of what it looked like compared to a typical Husker game, just a little bit. But what did it seem like in terms of like demographic? Did it seem like your typical Nebraska game, or was it a little bit different?
Yeah, you know, skewed. I mean, obviously, like your grandparents that have been going to Memorial Stadium for like 40 years, they were not there for this game. There was a couple, but generally speaking, it was probably like my parents' generation. So I would say there was a lot, like that was majority. And then you saw a lot of like people like my age. So a lot of like mid-20s to like mid-30s. And then also just a lot of I think like the heyday Husker generation, like that was really prevalent there. But I don't know, just like the demographic of it, I don't know if it mattered, just because it felt like everyone was so locked into it. And I haven't been to many Memorial Stadium because, you know, Memorial Stadium is almost like going to church, right? Like you see the same people, they're kind of sitting in the same places. You do the same type of traditions and routines. People leave at certain parts of the game because they need to go get, you know, ice cream, or they go get their runzas in the middle of the second quarter. Like they do the same things, right? The crowd, even at halftime, and the concourse is going to fill up. But seriously, I mean, it was crazy to just see how invested everyone was into the game, because I don't know if it truthfully was like Wi-Fi or anything else, but halftime, a lot of people stuck around and just stood and sat in their spots and waited for the game to start up again. During timeouts, during breaks, the last thing that I saw, because we had to dip out of there really quickly, just because, again, like our Arrowhead fans knew how to get out of there quick. But when Malcolm Hartzog made the interception, we turned, made sure that Dylan put knee to ground, and we were out of there. And that was as quickly as and a lot of Husker fans, I know that this was a big deal last night. A lot of Husker fans got stuck in traffic because they're used to sitting and waiting. They're used to doing that, but you can't do that with Arrowhead. So I don't know. It was pretty fun. It was pretty fun to be able to kind of see it that way.
It was kind of funny. So we were doing the Rico and I were on post game last night, and one of our regulars in the chat on the morning show, Ken E, was listening, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm still at Arrowhead. I'm still sitting here," and we didn't wrap up till close to 1. So I think Kenny maybe made the wrong call, or maybe he was just soaking it in. But I am curious. I did see that you took a roadside cone, an orange cone beer bong before the game. What was the tailgating like?
Tailgating was phenomenal. It was, in case you're curious, I have tried to kill this cricket, so I run off screen and try to.
Don't worry about the cricket; it's okay.
The tailgating was great. I believe we were vehicle number 5 in line. We left Spring Hill at about like 11:45 to be one of the first in lines at gate 5 or F. I can't remember if it was a letter or number, but the tailgating scene was awesome. I mean, again, it felt like it was truthfully Lincoln South. There was no part of yesterday's event that did not feel like it wasn't a Memorial Stadium. Like it's almost as if aliens came down and transported Memorial Stadium to Kansas City and just said, play a football game here. They really didn't even have to worry about it at all. I mean, everything about it other than the awkward Cincinnati home game vibes, it was entirely a Nebraska game. And I don't know, you don't want to be like the super Debbie Downer or anything like that, but the reason that like Nebraska, I think there will be a lot of people over the course of the next 72 hours until they can really process what they saw last night and they have some time to really like rewatch the game or just like evaluate to see where the rest of college football's at. I think a lot of people are going to point and say, oh, well, I figured Nebraska would be a lot better because of X, Y, and Z, and they should have played a lot better and looked a lot better because it was their own home game. It was a team that people didn't value the same way. But I really think by Monday morning, we're going to wake up as like Husker fans, and I think a lot of people are going to feel a lot different about being 1-0 and winning 20-17 more than they think that they would have. I think that's my hope, I guess, more than anything. I hope that it's true. But really, I don't know how you could watch the game and even like wake up this morning and be upset with a victory in everything that Nebraska had to face last night.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm taking the 1-0, right? I'm taking the 1-0 no matter what. And listen, I sat here, I thought this was going to be a larger margin of victory. I'm not going to go retroactively pretend like I didn't. There were certainly some things that we'll get into as the show goes on that I thought would have gone differently and thought was going to go differently that obviously did not. Defensive line is probably one of the biggest ones there. But at the end of the day, Nebraska, I mean, I talked about this on the show yesterday. I don't know. I think you were able to catch most of it, Austin. Like, Nebraska needs to be able to win when things don't go their way.
Yep.
Right? Defensive line play didn't totally go their way, right? There were some things in the passing game they probably would have liked to be able to stretch the field a little bit more, weren't really able to because of the defense Cincinnati was running. That didn't really go their way. They weren't able to convert in the red zone a couple times. That didn't really go their way. But they still found a way to win the game. Like, that is, I said this on postgame last night, but that's a game that Nebraska has not won the way it went in about a decade, right? Like, with the things that, especially with the pass interference at the end, right? When the pass interference at the end, I can't tell you how many text messages I got that were just like, hey, I'm sick to my stomach. I know how this goes. I've seen this before.
Yeah, I've seen this movie before. I think that's a famous quote.
You know, and it's like, I know how this ends. And you sit here and you go, okay, but it didn't, right? Yeah. Like, all the things that we wanted to change and go differently, I totally understand. But it didn't go that way. Austin, I appreciate you hopping in with us. We're going to take a quick break here this morning and get DB in here for us. And then we will continue the show here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, Skinner was the assistant here when I was a player. So we had a player-coach relationship, and then going to Louisville, and, I don't know if there's too many rivals in the whole country that can top the Louisville-Kentucky rival. So then we were rivals, but it was always funny because the fans wanted us to, hate each other. Well, the volleyball staffs were very friendly. So we know a lot about each other's coaching styles, but I'm excited to play Kentucky. It's a new challenge. This weekend was a challenge, and Kentucky has some things that, they will be good enough to be a team in December that makes it all the way, in my opinion, based on their roster. So that'll be a heck of a challenge for us. And then you throw in the ABC and the 11 a.m. start. There's a lot going on there.
Imagine your first dream home and the feeling of walking inside for the first time. With Centrist Federal Credit Union's First Time Home Buyers program, you are at the doorstep of bringing your vision to life. Welcome home. From your neighborhood mortgage experts, Centrist Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I think that was the key. We made a play, right? And I thought the offense did a really nice job. Obviously they went down, they took the 10-point lead, and then that drive, we had a great drive going to that one, just that one play, But even then, we made them use their timeouts. I had them in the 4th and 5, had the penalty. Great call by John. That quarterback eluded us. We had, every time we got close to some pressure, he was able to make a play with his feet, and really, even that long drive. I mean, there's 2 drives in a row they went tempo. They didn't really throw a ball. I mean, one ball in the flat, but great call by John. He brought the simulated pressure, went to cover 2. They took a shot at the hole. I mean, I just saw the guy running wide open, and all of a sudden Malcolm shows up, and that's what Malcolm Hartzog does. He doesn't talk a lot. He just makes plays, and happy to see him have a chance to make a play. That was a nice call by John.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. If you're driving back from Kansas City today, make sure you keep those eyes up and that phone down. Drive safely and don't get distracted, especially from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. DB, how are we doing this morning?
How are we doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you? That's the million-dollar question.
I'm good. I prepared for it, so as much as you can.
I was going to say, I don't know, you prepare for an hour of sleep, but
yeah, about an hour 20. We were significantly later pushing out. We didn't go wheels up until probably 2:25 maybe.
Yeah, and you were hoping to be hour and a half before that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did check flight check-in at the stadium.
Okay.
So we were a little later pushing out.
What was the delay?
We did security check at the stadium.
Okay.
I mean, the game didn't get over. What time did the game get over? It's after 12.
I think 11:45.
Yeah.
I think it was pretty close to midnight.
It just, I don't know, it's just kind of the way the schedule broke. Like the garage door opened at 4:20.
Oof.
So
that is rough out there.
Yeah, and a lot of guys didn't sleep.
Yeah.
No, you got the adrenaline of the game.
I was pretty wired.
You're only in the air probably 26, 27 minutes.
Oh, is it even that short? I thought maybe 45.
Yeah, it's about 27 minutes.
That's pretty short.
So it was in, out, and I think just got home driving.
Mm-hmm.
And Ben and I were probably 10 minutes from here, from Hurrdat.
Oh wow.
This is where I lift my vehicle.
Yeah. That's a quick turnaround.
Yeah, it was. It's crazy vibe too. You know, you're immediately trying to critique and assess what happened, and those guys had those iPads rolling. I mean, the minute we sat down, so
I'll say
I had a hot spot, so it was good for me to be able to watch.
I'll say it's challenging. I didn't get a chance to rewatch yet, so
yeah, I'm sure my opinion will change
by
on
Monday
on a lot of things.
Yeah.
By Monday when I get a chance to.
I did try and keep my I tried to be like Coach Rule, can have emotions without being emotional, right?
It's life.
There were some things that obviously you wanted to go better, right? Like that's just what it is, right? Week 1 football. I didn't see anything personally live that I go, oh, this is an entirely different team than I thought it was. Right. I was actually probably more encouraged by certain things than I was discouraged.
Yeah, I think so. If I had to go by what I was thought versus what I saw, I think they got to get better at the tackle spot. That left a little to be desired across the board.
Yeah,
and I think they they fell a little bit. And again, I have to go back and watch. It felt a little bit in love with the defensive line rotation. And I think you got to settle in on a couple of packages and things that you like. And I do think I really want to go back and watch a player or two that I feel like didn't play very well, but continue to get snaps. So I may be missing something there too. So we'll see along the D line. But
so you thought maybe they were a little overly interchangeable?
Right.
Yeah, it did.
I did.
They're moving guys in and out a lot.
Oh, a ton.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of packages, really situational. You could tell what they tried. They wanted to do, right? Nickel package, bring a linebacker out, bring Donovan Jones in. And then for the most part, the Jackson D line, it was a revolving.
Oh yeah, there were a ton of guys coming in and out of there. I did think I was pleasantly surprised. I thought Williams Winnari played well.
Yeah, a couple times, so again, it's just little things that'll get better, right? He tries to chase a play down from the backside. They end up running a reverse on him.
Yep.
Right, like that's not, and it's a big gainer. And he'll learn, right? If I'm a CBR guy, if I have counter boot or reverse, stay home.
Yeah.
Right. You're seldom gonna make a play flat down the line of scrimmage that side of the defense won't make. If they do, they probably shouldn't be playing.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So angle, if you're gonna run it down, your angle has probably got to be 1 of 45 and not 180.
Right.
I mean, it's pretty
coming
flat.
Coming all the way across.
A couple of pass rush things.
Got a little too wide a couple times.
Well, you try to make an inside move, and the quarterback gets out on you. But again, those are things. Those are really correctable. That isn't a scheme thing.
Yeah.
If there was anything scheme-wise that I think they're probably I think they were trying to correct on the fly, was trying to fit off power. Like they're off pack, Cincinnati would come with an H-back. It'd either be 21 or 83. And basically they would just lead.
Yeah.
Right? Just run lead with it. And I think the way Nebraska wanted to fit it, like spelling it versus boxing, they didn't correct really on the fly. Right? I guarantee you that's a play that they probably talked about on the sideline. So schematically, that's the only thing that didn't fit my eye.
Yeah.
But again, game 1, is it what they're doing or is it what Nebraska's going to be able to do? I think will be, I'll see. I think 10 of 18 on third down was really good. Your finishing drive rate is still poor. So they've got to find a way to generate another 2 points, I think, probably per trip to the 40.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be a really good offense. I mean, you had the ball 3 times up 2 scores.
Yeah.
Like you
and weren't able to put the
foot
down.
So that part.
Yeah.
And then conversely, defensively, you also don't want to turn around and
Give up
and go the knife through hot butter in 2 drives. I mean, you had the 2 poor drives where they racked up the majority of the yards, especially on the ground.
Yeah, so I was wondering about. I mean, I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't realize
which part.
The 3 drives while up 2 scores, right? I think that goes back to the encouraging part of things, right? 3 drives up 2 scores. That means you had opportunities to put Cincinnati away or to start putting them away, right?
Yeah.
So that I think is super encouraging. I also look at, okay, if we're talking about 2 more points every time you get into the 40, if we don't have a false start at the 1-inch line, basically, that's a lot of those 2 points right there, right? Just getting 6 there instead of 3 on the Pritchett false start, right? So there's things like little things that I look at and I go, okay, that's pretty close to where you need it to be. I also was pretty encouraged by, and you can get into this a little bit more because I think from your vantage point, you probably were able to see it a little bit better on terms of what Cincinnati was playing on the back end of their defense. But I was pretty encouraged by the fact that they weren't really it didn't seem like giving Nebraska opportunities to really push the ball down the field much. And Nebraska was still able to sustain 10, 12 play drives to get themselves into positions.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, not something Nebraska's done terribly well in the past about being able to convert on third downs. You mentioned the 10 of 18, being able to be like, hey, if we take 5 or 6 here, we can sustain a drive.
Yeah, I get it. It's just, I mean, it's initial knee-jerk reaction of I heard a lot of the wanting Nebraska to get vertical and, pushing the ball down the field. And I thought Cincinnati did a really good job. The shell, I mean, they were going to rally and tackle. When you can tackle the way that, man, a couple of them pissed me off just because I hate when DBs come in low.
Yeah.
And guys can't see you. Like that's, anyway, it took me a second to get over that with Bonner because I thought the tackle was just really unnecessary in its style. But it was hard. Like you could see like this glass bubble, and they weren't just going to be able to push. I mean, Dylan had a long throw from far hash to the sideline on a little comeback route.
To Hunter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were really trying to push this thing vertical. Like you could see the 3 vert concept, and Hunter snaps it off and works his way back downhill. I thought Cincinnati just did a good job of staying on top of routes.
Yeah.
And I said it to Kyle early. I said, this is going to be interesting to see how patient Nebraska can be. And as a signal caller, how patient can he be? Because I could see where you would.
At some point, you just want to let it rip, take a shot, right?
It's
human nature.
They just weren't going to give it to you.
Yeah.
They were not going to give it to you. They were going to make you play catch in front of them, and they were going to rally and tackle. I thought they did a really good job in that regard. And sometimes you have to tip your cap to what they're doing too, because I didn't mind Nebraska just playing catch. It's not fun,
right?
But they weren't going to be able to get a lot of. I thought Nebraska tried to take some shots when they got a one-on-one.
Yeah, we had the back shoulder to Hunter early, which was a nice pitch and catch.
Yeah,
and even that probably wasn't as deep as they wanted it to be.
No, and I think if he has it to do over again, there's probably not as much flight. And I think Hunter plays that a little differently.
Sure,
right? He attacked it in the air and he went and got it, but you have a DB that falls down.
Yeah, if you can keep your feet, that's probably
that might be 6.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of vintage game one type stuff.
How did you feel about? Because I thought Cincinnati actually tackled really well.
They did.
Because there was
they did.
There were some opportunities where it felt like if they got past, if
they
Nebraska
were one-on-ones.
Yeah, if Nebraska got past one more guy, then you're talking about big chunk plays, and then we're probably not having the same conversation about what the offense maybe looked like. But how did you feel about Nebraska's tackling? Because it seemed like
it was just okay.
Yeah, between Sorsby and Walker, especially kind of bigger guys.
It was just okay. I felt, and a lot of it is, I just don't know how good of radio it makes, and I have to, go back and listen to see. But I said I remember distinctly a couple of plays where I was thinking in my head, they fit that better than the result.
So like they got to the right spot. They just didn't make the play.
They hit their fit better than the play yielded. So I think, I'm not sure, schematically is that linebacker play or is that D-line gapping you out play? But, early on, especially in the first quarter and a half, the secondary tackling had to slow down a little bit where.
Like they overran stuff a little bit?
Yeah, it's just leverage.
Yeah. We talked about this when we were looking at the pick game.
It was just leverage, inside out and near hip, and understanding like where you can miss and where you can't. Now, it got a lot better as Cincinnati couldn't establish any really interior run game. But then, they found something on the edges, off tackle, a couple of drives that I think, Nebraska's going back to the drawing board on.
On the broadcast, they kept talking about the mid-zone runs by Cincinnati. What is that like? Where is the mid-zone? Outside is outside of the tackle, right?
Yeah.
Outside zone. Inside run is between.
Yeah, I think mid-zone. I think they're just talking off tackle.
Okay.
I mean, they were making hay, little H back. They down block, kick out with the number 2, and then lead with their H back. I mean, it's down, kick out, lead, down, kick out, lead. They got to it a couple of different ways. I felt like the play that Sorsby scored on, they motioned to the same concept. You use the motion guy, he kicks out. You use your H-back coming across the motion to lead, and it just turned into a foot race for Sorsby to the corner, and Nebraska got out leveraged. You have a body there, but, he outraces you. You give up the scramble late when it's 20-10 to Sorsby, where he runs down the field, and you had a safety miss one, but even that was after a 10-yard gain.
Yeah, it
would have been after a 10-yard gain. I can't remember. I think it was Guthrie that missed. But initially, the breakdown is you play peekaboo, where if I'm a C gap rusher or B gap or whatever the letter is, and I'm not in that gap rushing the passer, you lose containment. So those things are correctable, and Sorsby's a good player, but those definitely those little chunkies. I mean, they matter when you look at the stats and you think ultimately you did a good job conceptually. You let a couple of things get away from you that led, I think, to explosive plays.
So when I ended up looking at, speaking of the stat sheet, when I ended up looking at the box score and I'm looking at this and I go, okay. I tried to remove myself from the emotion of the moment and look at it from, let's say, 30,000 feet and go, okay, if I told you, me, or anybody else.
Bryce, I agree with you on edge run game, by the way, offensively. Go ahead.
I was just going to say,
I wanted to see that before it got away from me.
If I told you, me, or anybody else, hey, you're going to give up 17 points per game and under 300 yards of total offense, you're probably taking that almost every day, right?
Yeah, I think the one thing
we didn't love how it looked, and I don't either.
No, you got to limit the 3 explosive runs, because Walker had the 11-yarder, Sorsby had the 2 long ones. The reverse, that's on Nebraska.
Yeah.
So
over pursuit on the backside.
Those are obviously I have to just be careful about what I think is a schematic issue versus what is
like execution,
executing what you're supposed to do. Now, with them running this lead play, I have to really go back and see why Nebraska was getting creased.
Yeah, why they struggled with it so much.
Yeah, because I think they wanted their jacks. I think they wanted. I just couldn't figure out why your jack wanted to fit inside, right off the pin down, but you needed an alley runner to fit right off of that with the kick out.
Yeah.
Where I have to go back and see, do I need my safety getting down or do I need my backer getting over the top? Is that on Javen?
Yeah.
Or is that on my play side safety that I need to come fit? They seemed like they were a body short. I just have to figure out what was happening.
So it's like somebody was late.
Yeah.
Getting downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I mean, I think that.
I mean, I saw it on the ball that 6 dropped.
Mhm.
I mean, I could clearly see what that was. Number 2 ran a little look in, a little search route, and Nebraska had 2 defenders run into each other.
Yeah.
You know, Buddha ran into a DB that was, trailing the number 2, and he got picked off, which would have been a big play. But when you play as much man-to-man as Nebraska does, and you get a ton of motion, like orbit motion, leverage it just became foot races to the corner.
Yeah.
Like you could see it happening. So Nebraska, it was giving me early on, it was giving me some Wisconsin formational Nebraska trailing routes, Wisconsin,
Like
Nebraska jet sweep vibes.
Yeah.
The concept, the play is different.
Sure.
And
But just getting Nebraska to trail you.
Yeah.
And chase the play so they're already behind.
Inside out.
By the time
it was giving me some of those vibes.
So if you're Nebraska, what's the adjustment to that?
So I mean,
is it playing a little bit more zone?
It's not necessarily zone as much as you can roll down. So if my number 1 goes, I mean, I saw Donovan Jones chase number 2s across the line of scrimmage with motion a handful of times.
Yeah.
A couple times it paid off. You can roll down. So let's say the safety that the motion is coming to can come down and play, and Donovan can replace
drop back into the safety spot.
You can play it that way.
Basically, you're just like passing them off.
Yeah.
Makes it more or less,
yeah.
right? Like
side
a
to side.
Yeah.
We had to figure it out last night. How we wanted to, we were a couple of looks that we put in for North where we had to make a decision. Well, if they put Darian in motion and we want that matchup, are we gonna go with it?
Or
are we gonna bump and let our other corner play the same concept? So it's some give and take there philosophically.
Is that a difficult change to make, to decide if you want to bump or
depends
roll
on what you've been practicing?
Okay.
It can be. I mean, because basically your nickel guy turns into a backside safety, and your safety turns into a frontside nickel.
Yeah. So if you haven't practiced that, that's probably not something you can do in game in terms of an adjustment.
But I think concept-wise, it's not that big of a deal.
How did you feel about Nebraska's run game?
It was okay. Where some of the concepts, if I'm an OC and I'm looking at it, you have to win your one-on-ones. And I felt like a handful of times Nebraska had really big play potential, and an edge defender, their force guy, would make a play.
Yeah.
And I think that's, if I'm Coach Raiola and I'm looking at my 5 guys across, it was the concepts of what was happening on the edges with my run game, because they left a little out there. Now, I mean, Emmett missed a few cuts.
Sure.
So, I mean, up top, I'm thinking, will he want that one back?
I'll say there's a crease there.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't get.
So I take it with a grain of salt. I'm definitely not going to panic, but I do think there was some give and take there where, I mean, your back didn't do you any favors, but perimeter and edge blocking, can't allow guys to play. If we're engaged,
you can't let them get across your face.
I can't let you play across my face, cross face me to make plays.
Yeah. Like once you have the leverage on a guy, he can't regain it on you.
You got to finish it.
You got to keep him going out that direction.
You got to finish it.
Because that's the entire.
And that happened probably 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Because he was on a nice pace. He was about 5.5 a carry, and it's like 17 carries for about 85 yards.
Yeah.
And we were kind of cooking, and then it got kind of muddy. I do think they'll have to find another way, or another wrinkle to get to a lead or 2 back without using Lindemeyer as kind of like they tried it with Harburg a couple times with concepts where they wanted to get to duo and they motion him and they use him at the point of attack. You have to decide if you want to stay on side with that player, you want to cut it back. Like that's something they'll have to just rep quite a bit to get a feel for how that concept of duo, how do they want to get there?
So what's the if you're not going to use Lindemeyer or a tight end,
you can put another guy in the backfield.
So so it's a 2-back set basically.
Yeah, it becomes a 2-back set. So they use 10 personnel or 11 personnel, and they use the tight end as the move guy.
Right. So instead of using that, you'd go either 20 or 21 personnel.
Yeah, and I think Nebraska, this is what would give me fits. Mm-hmm. And certainly defensive coordinators are smarter than I am. When you have offset backs, you need some eye candy or something to keep me honest about downhill run game. Whether it's a front side handoff. When I say that, I mean, if this is super radio, but or whatever it is that we do, if a back is to my left or right,
so you're the quarterback right here.
I'm the Q.
Yeah,
you have to, and I don't have front side handoff where I can go downhill right now, and everything is zone
coming across.
Linebackers can play that a certain way.
Yeah,
so
because they can kind of get a head start on you.
If you're not going to use the quarterback to run, something has to hold me. Otherwise, I'm going to see zone or I'm going to see pullers, and I'm playing that thing.
Is that where a little more RPO can come into play?
RPO would be something really good, but I did like we are going to steal something from how Cincinnati played RPO. They use what I would call I think Coach Frank used to call it. We haven't brought it back in a long time since he retired, but he'd call this. I think we called it MAC. Like he's like, let's MAC this thing to limit the RPO. Your insides have to be moving at a pretty good clip, but there's some things that they can do that Cincinnati did that I thought limited the RPO game. But what Cincinnati was willing to give up by fitting the way they did on off-tackle runs was number twos were going to be open quite a bit.
And we saw that.
Like,
right?
You're giving that up. I mean, the 4th and 2 was stealing.
Yeah.
I don't know why he came off of it so quick. I saw the defender play side like kind of put his hands up, and I think Dylan maybe got spooked. But I mean, Key was wide open. I mean, just bang him right now in that 4th and 2.
Yeah.
And you're moving, and he's got to know 3-step drop, and you clutch, you pump fake, and go back.
You're gonna be way too late.
You're in trouble.
Yeah. Got fortunate on that one.
You're in trouble.
Let's get to Cody real quick here as we kind of recap the game. He wants to talk a little special teams. Cody, what's going on, bud?
Hello, gentlemen.
Cody, what's up, buddy?
Good morning.
How are you?
Well, the sun rose this morning.
Yes,
Nebraska's 1-0. Payday Jenkins is the best player in the Metro.
He's
going to be a good weekend.
Listen, he's the best. There's some good running backs. He's the best running back. He's the best running back in the state. He's the best. He's the best running. He's the best running back in the state. I mean, I love. I mean, Haney's a stud. Sutko's a stud. I like Connor. Like
Tay-Tay's ridiculous. I mean, I had that on my second screen while I was watching Nebraska. Tay-Tay's ridiculous.
Yeah. So one of my coaches, or one of our coaches, is kind of our get back coach, and I'm literally calling him or texting him every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Tell Queen.
Is it Jernigan? Because he would be a great get back.
So Jernigan is a get back guy. So that's funny, Cody. I would love. He would be my ideal choice, but he's not a phone guy. He's not a phone guy. So and he knows how I want our guys to play because he used to coach outsides. And we just had to make a couple of adjustments. I kind of saw what North was doing to our inside line, and they got us right before where they creased us on Cannon's long run, and immediately I've got a 35-word text. And I'm like, tell Coach, so it's like I was losing my mind, but yeah.
When I texted you last night about Lindenmeyer, I was surprised to see you read it right away. I was like, oh, was not expecting that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you gave me 9 months. It felt like longer than that I was trying to tell the free world about Lindenmeyer, but he's just really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought you said it at the beginning of last year.
I did.
Yeah, at the beginning of last year you said it.
I did.
I'll make it quick because I know you guys got
Go ahead.
coming up here quick. 2 knee-jerk reactions based off of one game. First one, Mike Eckler's the most important and best hire Rule has made in his tenure, based off one game and how good special teams was. Number 2 is Donovan Jones is a dude. I couldn't stop watching him last night.
Yeah, I thought Donnie had some good spots. I appreciate the call, Cody. Sometimes he's being aggressive all the time isn't always what you're gonna need.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna pick at that. I felt like the 3 corners as a whole played pretty well. Andrew Marshall,
I agree. Yeah.
Was really good.
Did they even throw at Sierra?
No, Sierra's tough, man.
I don't remember them throwing at Sierra.
I felt like the three corners played.
I was pleased.
They played well.
Honestly, you really can't complain about the pass defense based on what Cincinnati got, right? Like they didn't get anything through the air.
Yeah,
they really didn't.
I mean, their goal, they were going to find number 2s or slot receivers and work inside against those guys. There wasn't a lot of hay to be made.
No.
Outside the numbers.
No, they did. I thought the corners did a great job, and
special teams was pretty good.
Yeah,
really good.
Certainly wasn't perfect, but that was a game where, I mean, we talked about this in the offseason, right? I said, hey, if special teams isn't disastrous, which it was better than that.
Yeah.
I said that's one of those games that if it was what it was last year, that's a loss, right? Like that.
Yeah.
Pure and simple to me. That's a loss if special teams was what it was last year. And you get the 52-yard field goal, you get clean snaps, you get Archie pinning them inside the 10 a couple times. One of them led almost directly to a touchdown. The other one made sure that they had to go 90-some yards to try and tie or win the game at the end. Like, special teams was good, and it's okay to say it. I thought, for the most part, I thought Dylan was good. Yeah. I think he did what he needed to do based on what Cincinnati was giving him. And those were basically my 2 things to say, hey, if these 2 things are true, I think Nebraska's a lot better this year.
Yeah, I think for the, offensively, you've just got to take a look at what are we going to do when the field is condensed? Right? We get inside the 20, like conceptually, what do we want to do?
Yeah.
And does that need to start once we get to about the 40?
Sure. Yeah.
How we think about
how we think about play selection, play calling.
That's one of the things that they're going to have to figure out, because the finishing driveway, which I've been harping on all off season, is one of the areas of that offense that's got to get better. And it reared its ugly head a little bit last night.
Coming up on the show today, we're going to talk to Michael Severe at 8 o'clock. Tim was not available this week, so Michael's going to hit us with that 8 o'clock spot this morning. Then we will have our regular guests at 9 and 9:45. Mike Sautter, he was out at Omaha North and Omaha West Side last night. Big win for the Warriors. And our guy, Matt Vrzal, coming up at 9:45 as well. Plus, we'll get to a little bet on it, get to some of the picks for this weekend, a huge weekend in college football.
Some of last night in college football in general.
College football was a little goofy last night. We had some upsets, had some near upsets. It was a fun night in college football if you weren't able to.
The Macs thinking to themselves, we're close, but not quite.
Almost there. Almost there.
And what would you do with 4-188 all guaranteed? Ooh-wee.
And what would you do if you're Boise State this morning?
Yeah, you talk about tackling. They took it on the chin.
They certainly did. And, of course, you mentioned the 4-for-188. We will get to the giant Micah Parsons trade as well. I'm sure our guy Severe may have some thoughts about that also.
I know Jacob Padilla had some. I thought you were picking on him unnecessarily.
Sometimes I do pick on people just to pick on people.
He clapped back, though.
He always does. He's a big boy. He can stand up for himself.
He clapped back.
That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We will be back with more Hurrdat Sports Live coming right up after this.
Yeah, I think that was the key. We made a play, right? And I thought I thought the offense did a really nice job. Obviously they went down, they took the 10-point lead, and then that drive, we had a great drive going to that one, just that one play, But even then, we made them use their timeouts. I had them in the 4th and 5, had the penalty. Great call by John. That quarterback eluded us. We had, every time we got close to some pressure, he was able to make a play with his feet, and really, even that long drive. I mean, there's 2 drives in a row they went tempo where they didn't really throw a ball. I mean, one ball in the flat, but great call by John. He brought the simulated pressure, went to cover 2. They took a shot at the hole. I mean, I just saw the guy running wide open, and all of a sudden Malcolm shows up, and that's what Malcolm Hartzog does. He doesn't talk a lot. He just makes plays, and happy to see him have a chance to make a play. That was a nice call by John.
It's just a look we have in each other's eyes. We have tremendous trust in each other, and I told Coach that I was gonna make it happen. And with all guys, 11 guys executing their job, we scored a touchdown. And I mean, Dane shook the dude pretty bad the first time, and Hulk let me know in the ear, you got it. So we ran the same play, and we hit it for a touchdown.
How satisfying is it to win that close game?
Oh, it's huge. It's big for us. Because that's something that we focus on. It's also big for our fan base.
We're in the neighborhood, just down the street. With a wide variety of home equity products to help you create a relaxing oasis. So you can kick back and relax in comfort. Centrist Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Yeah, I had a penalty, me and my brothers on the field, looking to the sideline, the coaches, they just telling me next play, each play lasts about 6 seconds, so flush that out, get on to the next play, and just make the play when it comes to you. Yeah, man, Coach JB had us in the right call. I did my assignment, looked up, seen the ball. Yeah, I just made the play, man, and it felt unreal.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I thought the special teams were great. I mean, obviously the first kickoff got out to the 35. We don't want that. Kicked the ball out of bounds. We don't want that. So, it's like everything else. Like there's some good, some bad. I thought, Kenneth Williams made good decisions on the kickoff returns. I thought Ja'Cory fielded every punt, including the 135-yarder. We almost blocked the one. We got close to one. To be able to kick that field goal there in that time was a crucial play. I mean, that's a big change in the game. Archie getting out there and playing for the first time. He kicked, a couple left-footed, one right-footed, puts him down inside the 10. So, it's like the rest of the team. Like there's going to be a lot of good. There's going to be a lot of things we want to correct. And, I think the good thing is, we're going to go right back to work tomorrow. We'll be in the weight room at 11 o'clock. This is no, hey, happy Memorial Day. And that's not because of the game. That's just the plan, right? Like, so we'll be in there tomorrow at 11 and we'll start getting better for next week.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Central Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. If you want to see a lot of good, make sure you get over to Dingman's Collision Center. Check them out at dingmans.com, locally and family owned and operated. They've got deep roots right here in the area, and they've got 4 convenient locations across the Omaha Metro. Whatever your auto body repair needs are, Dingman's got you covered. And they've got you covered as well as anybody in the city because they've been voted best of Omaha, first place for 20 straight years. It's Dingman's Collision Center. Get out to dingmans.com. I did really think, I know we mentioned it with Cody a little bit, I did really think the special teams were very good and a huge improvement from what we've seen over the last however many years. I mean, we don't have to go through all of it, but I'll be honest, it made me a little nervous the first couple times with Ja'Cory Barney on some of the catches. Like, I'm just so used to seeing
balls hit the ground,
either balls hit the ground or guys coming up to catch it and being kind of ill-prepared to take the hit. I was really impressed with how he handled it, but we got a little sphincter tightening a little bit especially the first one where it happened. He got hit right away. I did think special teams, though, like I said, I thought it was a game they lose without how they play on special teams.
It's going to be interesting. I think for them, they'll do a few things personnel-wise, but I did think tactically, like the plan of attack was pretty good.
Yeah, and we'll get to Michael Xavier here in just a second. I am a little bit curious as we, we've got some comments about Emmett Johnson in the chat here. I am a little curious about his workload. 25 carries, 32 total touches. It was a little higher than I was expecting, personally. I thought we might see a little bit more of the running back rotation. Coach Rule tried to explain that a little bit in the postgame, that the game was sort of moving a little bit quicker than
it's happened. People don't want to hear it, but it's happened to me. I've talked about this before.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised. You start out with a plan, and you want to get on a rotation, and then things happen. And coaches are calling down on the phone and like, hey, man, my bad.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what to tell you other than every running back that's been in a situational rotation has had that happen to him.
Where the game just gets moving a little bit too fast.
He's not. There's really no other better term for it.
Yeah.
It's exactly what happens. Believe me.
Because there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And
now I do think sometimes so this is what I think they have to be careful of, because this is what coaches will do. A guy's been playing for a while, and you put a sub in, and you don't get the desired outcome you want of the play. So your natural gut is to go back to the other guy.
Sure.
Like they don't have to do that.
Right. Which it seemed like they did a couple times.
I do think they did do that a couple times.
Mosey, I think, had 2 carries. Neither one of them went very well.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Mosey get a touch before
Mackay. I was too. I think he got both carries before Mackay got in. And then Mackay got in. Carry probably didn't go the way you wanted it to. And
he made the guy missed at the line. Yeah, it wasn't blocked particularly well either.
Right. But then we didn't see either of those guys again, I don't think, at least on carries. I do want to mention, and I know we kind of mentioned it in passing here with the Bonner injury. People have asked a couple times about what was going on. I don't think we know, outside of what Coach Rule just said, that it didn't look good, right?
Well, Jess said right away.
Well, she saw it pretty close.
Yeah, she said right away, it's not good.
Yeah, and I mean, I tried not to watch the replay too close because it didn't look great. But obviously, wish all the best to our guy Janarin Bonner as well. That's obviously single digit guy, but that's a guy I've been talking about for 2 years. I really like Janarin Bonner. I like his skill set. I think they've had a hard time figuring out how to use him, which has been frustrating, I'm sure, for him as much as anybody else. But obviously, hate to see him go through that as well. But we kind of mentioned in passing as we went to break there was a lot going on in college football last night. I'm always curious. I know that your multitask game is very good. how much were you able to kind of consume? I know you guys went on air super early, even before the first game started, right?
Yeah, so we had 2 monitors, or did Ben have his computer? Ben had one game on. I had the other. We're split.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle's in the middle. I mean, I got a fair amount in.
And so we saw that we talked about that South Florida Boise game. I was pretty stunned. I thought maybe it would be close, but
it was only 5.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I thought it would be a reasonably close
Yeah, they
game.
got their teeth kicked in. USF was the much more physical team.
Yeah, even their quarterback was just
Boise's
trucking people.
Boise's tackling was
poor.
Yeah, not good.
Can you imagine the reaction in this state if Nebraska's tackling had looked that way?
No, I know.
We'd be.
I mean, we're still a little bothered, and it wasn't near as bad as I can't wait. Like I'm excited. And it won't be until probably after the Central Bellevue US game, but because I've got to do our film for high school in a couple of hours, and then get those guys in this afternoon, and then I'll get back to Nebraska.
So you guys going right back to practice today? You get a day off?
Yeah, we'll bring them in normal time.
Yeah,
we'll do film. I'll get our plays cut up for what we want to go over. Coach Queen will have his batch. We'll get them, break a sweat, condition.
Yeah.
And then we're back at it tomorrow morning for next week.
So how was I know yesterday there was a lot going on for you.
Mm-hmm.
How were you kind of processing West Side and Nebraska in real time? Like, I know that was a lot.
It was hard. And, Kyle's got to watch me watching the game real time from 7 o'clock till 7:59.
Yeah.
So I've got the monitor on watching the game while we're having pregame.
Yeah.
So, every now and again I have to just remind him, like, hey, I'm good. I'm locked. Like,
yeah.
I can do this. Like,
yeah.
We'll be just fine.
Which, if you're not used to working with you, it is kind of, you're like, what's happening right now?
No, I get it. I get it.
But when I said, like, your multitask game is unparalleled, like, it really is. Like, I've never seen anybody be able to process more things at once.
Yeah.
Which, like, when we first started working together, I was like, what is happening right now?
I told him early, I said, hey, don't ever think I'm not paying attention to you.
Yeah. But it's hard sometimes, because you can see you doing, like, kind of lots of things, but it is like, the ability to stay locked on what's in front of you is kind of remarkable.
Yeah. So we'll get that ready. And, one thing I want to go back and watch is, I have it on record. I want to go back and watch Buffalo and Minnesota.
Yes. Yeah. I didn't get to see much of that one.
So we were quietly cheering for Miami of Ohio.
Yeah. I was not so quietly cheering for Jack State, but it's okay.
Well, they were kind of messy. So that's the game.
Was messy.
That's the game. That's the game. B-Mac had on.
That game was messy. Yeah. It was.
Because who was I on? Maybe Boise and USF all the way. Were they the game leading up to Nebraska?
Yep.
Yeah, so I never changed the channel. That's the one I had on.
Yeah, that was the one leading up to Nebraska. So yesterday I went first half Millard North, Millard West, which I don't want to talk about. We can't. I'm just kidding. We can't.
That was alarming.
That was a bad loss.
I
Millard North was messy. They were messy. It was bad. I didn't get to see the second half, but they went twice into the red zone with 0 points in the first half. The special teams are disastrous. The first touchdown for Millard South,
the kick
or
return?
for Millard West, was like a pooch kick return that nobody touched the guy.
He didn't get touched.
Nobody touched the guy. Nobody got close. And so that's disastrous. Millard North missed an extra point. They didn't even
How did
attempt.
Millard West score?
That was the only score I saw in the first half. Everything else came in the second half, so I didn't see. But Millard North would move the ball, do something stupid, penalty, turnover, whatever. The first one got in the red zone.
I'm a little biased because I know it, but that was a good hire at Millard West.
Absolutely.
I like him quite a bit.
Former Millard North assistant, just for the record.
But
it was a good hire.
And I like the concept too. You need somebody that understands the landscape of youth football.
Oh, 100%.
And
100%.
he understands the landscape of youth football.
You got to build your pipeline, right? Like that's your future right there is youth football.
You do.
And so I went to that game for the first half and watched that, was super frustrated. A lot of messy penalties that set drives back, turnovers, bad special teams. So I am concerned about Millard North this year. I won't stick on them for too long.
Although those uniforms are sweet.
They look great. They look great. I'll give them that. They look incredible.
That was a head scratcher. Good. I mean, good on.
Their gear game is right.
Nobody told Miller West they weren't supposed to show up.
I do have to give a shout out to there was a running back for Millard North, Isaiah Traylor, who I thought looked really good. He busted one for about 79. That was the Millard North's only score in the first half, but he was pretty consistently making guys miss and getting kind of chunk yardage. I was super impressed by him.
Yeah.
And that was not a guy I'd heard very many people talk about. So I want to make sure I gave him
How was
a little bit
Miller
of
North at the quarterback spot?
Okay. I don't know that they totally trusted him when he was asked to make passes. It seemed like he did. He was reasonably mobile, got a couple first downs with his feet. I think they're going to have to ask him to do more in order to open up the run game the way they want to. They also have a freshman wideout, Keely Heath Moody, who didn't get a ton of touches, but when he did, I was pretty impressed by him.
Okay.
Looked like a good ball player.
Note to self.
But then I went home and turned on, obviously, Nebraska and then West Side and Omaha North. Shout out to CW for carrying that one on TV for me. I appreciate that.
Severe sent me the link, and he didn't get me back.
Really?
I didn't. I mean, I was out. Once I had the link and I sent it to my laptop where I could actually watch, I was good.
Shane, do we have Michael?
Not yet. Still trying to track him down.
Okay.
He doesn't have a real job. What is he doing?
I was going to say, what's my guy doing? Maybe he just doesn't want to talk about Spencer Rattler being a starting quarterback.
Well, he said he's not sure when he's driving back or going to breakfast. He's going to try and get us in. So
that's okay. Well,
that doesn't sound like you booked him.
No, I booked him. He said sure. He said it's on. When he says okay, it's on my calendar. I know it's booked.
Okay. It's all right.
What kind of answer was that?
I have no idea. Justin has a question. He says, Damon, honest question. I apologize if already discussed and I missed. Why did it take until the last drive to spy the QB, or did they before and we didn't notice?
So he may be right. So Justin, I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. I'm not sure.
Without rewatching.
Yeah. But it didn't seem.
Certainly didn't look like it.
Like they used one. So I have to go back and take a look-see at that, Justin. I'll be much better. Well, tomorrow morning.
But by Monday for
sure.
But
by Monday or Tuesday for sure.
Oh yeah, Tuesday. We were off
because
Monday.
I'm going to get into it. Even I have some questions. I don't mean like even I'm incapable, but I have to go back and see, is this a schematic thing or is this a personnel thing?
And it was, I mean, I know just from like a fan perspective, I was kind of talking with people online and stuff while the game was going on. It was frustrating to watch happen because it certainly didn't seem like there was a spy until the very end. It seemed like the last drive, Nebraska sort of decided, hey, we're going to contain first.
And I'm going to reserve judgment on those insides. I get, I hear a lot of whispering, right?
About the D line.
No, it's not so much. So, with Shavers and
inside linebacker.
And
okay.
The law firm.
Yeah.
Those guys didn't they were managing some injuries too. So I'm not gonna. I just know how it goes in this league, man. Where that might not be what we get because I've seen better. And they didn't practice a ton too. Like Watson Trent was still. He did his pregame routine getting ready up until I did the final on the field shoot with Jessica, which was 6:45, 6:50.
So pretty deep.
Which I feel like is pretty late to be out there going through your individual bands or guys always have their little deal. He still was out there. I don't know how good he felt. And he doesn't really, he's not.
Doesn't talk much.
No.
Between him or Malcolm, who are you getting more out of?
Probably Malcolm. And Malcolm looks approachable.
Yes. Yeah.
Quest?
Not so much.
No. No.
Yeah, I thought I'll be interested to see what you think on rewatch, because I did think it was interesting because Sorsby didn't really start killing them with his legs until late.
It's like you look up and he went 13 for 96, and I was like, how?
Yeah, a lot of it was in the last 2 drives, I think.
I mean, they're in essence running QB power and QB sweep, just out leveraging Nebraska to the corner.
Yeah.
I'm like, that can't happen.
Yeah, 100%.
Like that can't happen.
Because a lot of it didn't seem like, I mean, there were early, it seemed like anything he was getting on the ground was not necessarily designed QB run.
Yeah.
Spent more like scramble, maybe over pursue in the pass rush, kind of left some lanes open. Late, that was intentional.
Yeah, my man McGay, he just on the backside let him out of the back gate. I don't know. There again, I have to. Okay, is this tactical or is it technical?
Yeah,
because
schematic or is it execution?
Yeah,
right. Like
that's exactly how you would replace each word.
Yeah,
yeah, but yes.
So that is I think that's the $1 million question for a lot of people, because I had a lot of people talk about, I didn't love how the defensive line played. What about a spy on the quarterback? Totally fair questions, right? That's I expected the defensive line to play better. I still think they will play better. I like the pieces there a lot. I do wonder, somebody brought this up during post game. I do wonder, because did Keona Davis come back in after the calf?
I don't know.
I didn't see him. And it did seem like that was a problem. Like it seemed like taking Keona Davis off the field was a problem. So that's something I'll be interested to see.
Yeah, I liked. Again, I have to go back. It feels like in my head I like the combination of Davis and RVP.
I think so too.
It's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Now I have to
really like dial in on who was in when.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that was a pretty good combination of guys. And I hope you're right. You know, you talked early about the rotations on the defensive line.
Yeah.
I hope they can dial in on the guys they like playing together.
And you're still kind of in a tryout process with experience, so we'll see some more. But I mean, I'll
especially over the next couple weeks.
I'll be curious to see what happens when they get back in the lab.
Yeah, I would imagine over the next couple of weeks we'll see quite a bit of tinkering with Akron and with Houston Christian. I would imagine by Michigan we've got a different idea of kind of who they like playing together. Because to me, when you talk about rotation, it's as much about that as it is the individual guys, right? Like who's kind of complementing the skill sets. I was interested a little bit with the Jack rotation as well. I thought McCullough played okay, maybe even pretty well.
I don't know. I really don't. Those are guys that like I have to literally watch.
Like just watch them.
Yeah, I do. When they're part of the D line, when they're not. You know, Nebraska played some 5 down.
Yeah.
Typically, it was closer to the goal line, but I have to.
Because it's really easy.
I don't want to make any.
It's like sweeping judgments.
Yeah.
Because it's really easy on first watch to see a guy make a couple plays and be like, oh, he played well. Right. And
we do have a tendency. We do fall in. You see it on social media a lot. A guy will make a splash play and it's like, ooh, baller. And it's like, that's a good play. But there's a lot more out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How well is he executing his assignment?
And sometimes we just like when guys flash.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Doesn't always necessarily mean they're playing well.
It's one of the things I'm going to go back and watch. Obviously, Vincent Shavers had the big forced fumble, right? I want to go back and watch how he played the rest of the time because I'll be honest, I didn't like he splashed, right, which is what I want out of him, but I didn't really get to see how he was playing the rest of the time.
Just moving, yeah.
You know, and that's going to be really interesting for me. And I think you brought up a good point of trying to keep an eye on the linebackers a little bit closer.
Yeah, those
because I think they can get lost.
The
in the
second level fitting in the run game is something I'm not gonna hold you. I'm watching almost all defense.
Yeah,
for right now.
When you do get around to watching offense, like what's the thing you're gonna look at?
Perimeter run game.
Yeah, just
what's happening from tackles to number 2s to H-backs.
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt like in my head, I don't know if I said it out loud during the broadcast late in the game or not. My mind felt like Nebraska would be most comfortable with running in between the tackles.
Yeah.
So I got that feeling from somewhere.
Yeah.
Which means I wasn't really comfortable with perimeter run game.
Sure. Which is kind of, especially against Cincinnati with Corleone in the middle, it's probably a little counterintuitive.
So I felt like they did a good job on him early. To me, felt kind of non-existent.
There was a couple, again, a guy that had a couple splash plays.
Yeah.
You know, he got pressure on Dylan a couple times, but you thought they did a pretty good job on him.
It seemed like it.
Yeah.
But again, I got to go back and watch.
I hope you're right, because I think we talked about interior offensive line as the strength of that team, or certainly the strength of that line. So if they ended up doing better on him than maybe people thought at first blush, I think that would be really encouraging.
Yeah.
Shane, let's take a quick break here, try to get a hold of Michael, and we'll be back. Maybe talk a little more Nebraska, obviously, and then wanted to get into a little NFL with Michael as well, with the big Micah Parsons trade and rosters getting shaken out, and his New Orleans Saints finally named a quarterback. I don't imagine he's going to be super thrilled. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, Skinner was the assistant here when I was a player. So we had a player-coach relationship, and then going to Louisville, and, I don't know if there's too many rivals in the whole country that can top the Louisville-Kentucky rival. So then we were rivals, but it was always funny because the fans wanted us to hate each other. Well, the volleyball staffs were very friendly. So we know a lot about each other's coaching styles, but I'm excited to play Kentucky. It's a new challenge. This weekend was a challenge, and Kentucky has some things that, they will be good enough to be a team in December that makes it all the way, in my opinion, based on their roster. So that'll be a heck of a challenge for us. And then you throw in the ABC and the 11 a.m. start. There's a lot going on there.
Imagine your first dream home and the feeling of walking inside for the first time. With Centrist Federal Credit Union's First Time Home Buyers program, you are at the doorstep of bringing your vision to life. Welcome home. From your neighborhood mortgage experts, Centrist Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I think they said something like 92 to 95% of the tickets sold were through us. I just think that speaks to what we have here. And, especially a tight ball game like this where the crowd is so energized, so alive. We're on the road and I'm having to wear a double thing. Which is great, and you saw the impact of that, some false starts, by them in crucial times. Unfortunately, the last one they made a play on 4th down to get it, but they had some crucial false starts, which you have to attribute directly to our fans. And obviously, we'd love to win the game by more. We'd like to have taken the lead, but I thought that was an exciting way, and just see our guys make plays down the stretch. I hope the fans enjoyed that part of it, and it was certainly fun to see them celebrate at the end.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla, presented by Centrist Federal Credit Union. We're here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, and I do believe we now have one Michael Severe joining us, director of the Jet Foundation. Michael, what's going on, bud?
I don't even know where I am, dude. What's going? Yeah, that man getting out of that trying to get out of that parking lot last night and trying to get home. We got back at 2:30 to the hotel. It was crazy, man. I've never been in a parking lot like that before, but it was an awesome night. And how you guys doing?
I told Ravi, because I didn't open the garage at my house until 4:20.
Yeah.
And, we were like, well, what took so long? And we did security check at the facility or at the stadium, like doing it on the front end versus, when we get to the
airport.
But I don't know how anybody got out of there. And we had an escort and parked. I mean, we were fairly strategic, right, where they dropped the buses off so we could get in and out. I don't know how people without an escort even managed getting out of that place.
Well, I went to the post game, and we were waiting for Raiola to show up, and then everybody that I came with was at the car. And so I'm like, well, we waited for like 15, 20 minutes for him. And finally I was like, well, I'm just going to go to the car. And I happened to be on the opposite side of where we parked. So I limped my butt over there and got to the car. And then I was like, okay, we're not leaving here for a while. But you know what? At least everybody was Nebraska nice for the most part, letting us in and letting us get zipper merge.
Facility team. I thought you were talking about the people that worked at the stadium. They were incredible.
Everybody was nice. Everybody was good. It was good. Everybody was happy.
I had a lady. She was helping with where we ate. You're sitting at the table, doing the food services. She was the older lady that had her hair pulled back in a ponytail, itty bitty little thing with the glasses. And so I'm out there, and it's just us. It's early. It's 2:20 maybe. And I walk out there, and I just was kind of getting a lay of where everything was. And she said, "Go big." She's older. She's like, "Go Big Red."
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey," but she had on a Chiefs polo, and I was like, "Are you a Nebraska fan?" And she goes, "I don't know if she said her dad or her grandpa played. I assume it was her dad." And she said his name, and he had a nickname, so I knew it was super old. He's like older. And I said, "Oh, that's pretty cool." And she goes, "Yeah, it was way back when." And I said, "Hey," I said, "Don't say that." I said, "It's 30 years. It's been 30 years.
Yeah,
I played, and I feel old." And she said, "How old are you?" And I go, "Oh," I said, 51. And she goes, "Oh, you know what they say, black don't crack." I was like, huh? What?
She was hitting on you, DB.
So I got some ice out of the scoop because my back was to her, and I turned around and I go, "Sure." And she goes, "Oh, don't worry about it, honey. You're fine. You look good." I was like, OMG. Like, I mean, I work with a racist partner, but I don't even know her, right?
Okay, that's the ultimate compliment. It may be the most common phrase heard among young black professionals. It's said quite a bit. I don't think it's quite being racist, and I mean it's not to the level of Ravi in any way. So, why Ravi taking like just shots early in the morning for no reason? That was out of nowhere.
He's usually giving them, and like I said, my garage didn't open until 4:20, and we had there's an exchange because my cousin was watching Zoe, and we were waiting for her mom to get there so Sinai could go to school. So I wasn't on my A game early, and so I think he was giving me some grace. But by now he's usually throwing in about 10, 12 barbs, man. So I think he's just being kind because he knows I'm working on about 51 minutes sleep.
I'm being kind and then catching strays. I don't know what.
I know it makes no sense. It makes just catching straight. The most incredible thing I've seen over this trip, by far, was Wednesday night when I watched two gentlemen, Nebraska fans from a very small town. Shout out to Davie, Nebraska.
Davie.
I watched them.
Davie.
I watched them put away. I think it was about 2 cases of Busch Light. It was amazing. I've never seen it like that in my life. It was incredible.
Did you come over?
I've never seen it before.
Did you come over to the team hotel at all?
No. I didn't even know where the team hotel was.
So we were at the Overland Park Marriott, and Austin dropped me off. I wanted he and Katie to come. It didn't feel right, just like dropping me off. And I was like, oh, I said, seems like there's a ton of Nebraska fans. I just was looking for a smoke screen. I saw one of the dads, and I was like, where's the elevator? But you could tell what kind of event that was going to be based on.
Yeah.
I mean, there were tents set up at 10 a.m. There was tailgating to the tailgating.
They told us that the parking lot didn't open until 3:30.
Listen,
and we got there, and the parking lot was already full. How's that possible?
Because and shout out to Cassidy who was driving us because she let us out. First of all, she made her own lane. Like she was way aggressive. And we're going around all these cars because we knew we could get in early, right? Because we had our media stuff and we had the parking deal.
Yeah.
But we went in gate 6. I think we were supposed to go to 2. And so Cassie's just like doing her thing. And Jess is like, just get us as close as you can. We're going to have to walk. I was like,
Jess, that's a loser mentality.
You want to get her steps in.
So I felt so bad. At some point, she didn't really talk to me much yesterday. At some point, I got to apologize, but we got off to a bad start because you know how I get in crowds, right? And so cars were parked waiting to get in. As he got us super close, and the attendant was super nice, sweet little African American lady. She said, "Well," she goes, "Oh, you guys took the wrong gate." And we're like, "Shoot!" She goes, "Well, just pull in." We kind of know the wheels are caught. We're doing 3-wheel motion. She goes, "Just get in behind this little truck. You're only like three back from the gate. We're going to open it early because you guys you're spilling over into the roadway
on the highway." Yeah.
Yes. Yes. We're going to open this in a few minutes. And I looked at Jess. She looked at me. She goes, "We're going to have to walk."
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's fine. So people are waiting.
Yeah.
They get out and they're just doing their thing. They're playing catch. The gates aren't open.
It was remarkable. It was an absolute takeover.
The tailgating spot
like while they're in line.
Yeah.
And I was everybody, you know, like, and I'm traumatized, right? Because I'm like, please, I've already got to walk half a mile. And they didn't pop the trunk right away. So I'm like super exposed, just waiting out by the car. So I didn't talk to Jess the whole walk. Like, because she's just kind of taking her time. She's, inside I'm fuming. Like I am steaming, Willie beaming. So we didn't talk. It's a half-mile walk to the stadium from where we were.
Like 10, 15 minutes,
I didn't
right?
say one word. So we go to the first door that we see because you talked about being on the other side.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking security's going to let us in. It's just the two of us. Like it's 2:20, right? And I think she was sensing my mood. Like I was impatient, even though I wasn't talking. And she said out loud, she goes, "We don't have to start until 4, DB. We're going to be fine." I looked behind me, and it's just, I felt awful. I'm like, let's not imply that we don't need a favor. Like, we'd like to get in as soon as possible.
Right.
Said it out loud. Listen, she didn't talk to me the rest of the day.
I must have talked to, I'm not lying, I must have talked to 1,000 Nebraska fans, dude. 1,000 Nebraska fans. And it was just the biggest party I've ever seen. But getting to the game and after the game, I got asked it was like somebody sent out a text and they said, when you see Severe walk in, stop him and ask him this exact question. Be honest. What was your take on the game?
Yeah, I know, man. I know.
And I was like, well, I mean, they obviously got to get better. They got Michigan coming up in a few weeks, and Michigan's a better team, and they got to make some improvements. But in the end, it was a win. And everybody's like, oh, I don't know. It felt a lot like last year. I'm like, well, people right now are just so apprehensive about even being overly happy. It's an amazing thing.
They just the fan base, they just don't trust.
Yeah,
and I get why, right? I just don't.
But last year, 2 years ago, that's a
they
loss.
lose the game.
Loss.
Yeah, it goes to overtime, and they don't get a first down, and they lose.
That's the thing that I think people are missing about this. Like, yeah, there's plenty of stuff, right, that didn't go the way we wanted it to. That didn't go, that didn't go according to plan or how we thought it was going to go. And how many times when that happens does Nebraska lose?
Yeah.
Right? In the last however many years, Nebraska almost always loses that game. So I do think I understand the frustration. I understand, like, hey, got a couple weeks to get a lot better before Michigan. Totally get that. But you'd rather take those couple weeks being 1-0 than 0-1, right? And any other year in the last decade, that's an 0-1 start, right? I mean, I think I saw somebody say this is the first power conference opener win since 2003.
Yep, Oklahoma State.
A long-ass time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, we're talking 22 decades that this Nebraska has not accomplished what they accomplished yesterday. Go get better. Like, yes, there's stuff I wanted to go better, obviously. But at the end of the day, Nebraska won a game where a lot of things didn't go their way.
It was their 6th win, 1-score win in the last 28 games. I mean, it tells you everything you need to know, So, but, I think also because, and this no offense to Coach Rule or anybody else that does press conferences, we love that they do them. But, they said things, he talked about, we got 3 great backs. We have 3 great backs. They're all going to be good. They all can do this. And we saw that, Emmett was incredible, took a huge load on his shoulders, probably even too many touches, when you look down the road and he can rest against maybe Akron and Houston Christian, because Akron didn't even score yesterday. I think they crossed the 50, but like twice. But, we saw a little bit of Nelson. We saw a little bit of Mosey, and it didn't necessarily excite people. I think they worry a little bit about some other things, still some of the things that we need Raiola to do, like that 4th and 2 when he's got Dane Key open. He had Emmett open early, and he almost threw a pick 6, but he made the play of the game. He recovered his own fumble in a situation where that's a pickup 6. That's a fumble, recovery, sack, fumble, touchdown most times for Nebraska, and he made the recovery. So he made the play of the game, and he made a couple really solid throws too. So it's the first game of the season. Did you watch week 0? It was some of the worst football that you could watch. So I expected it. I told everybody the lock of the week was under 54, and then it was under 53, and then it was under 52, and then it was under 50.5. You just don't get great football early nowadays and Coach talked about, enough practices, you don't hit enough. So, that's where we were with the game. See how they play against Akron. Be ready for Michigan. That's what you're looking forward to.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. You mentioned the backs and the rotation, and I've been a victim of it. I've also benefited from it. So I know how it goes where you go in with a plan and then the game unfolds and you get caught up being a spectator because it's week 1. It happens, but I don't. Those backs just need an opportunity. They don't have to find one. It's up to the coaching staff. It's on them. Where if you don't feel like you've got a guy ready where you can leave him in for 2 series, that's on you. And it doesn't have anything to do with Mackay or Mosey's talents. It's your level of comfortability with your preparation. Like it's definitely you don't look. It's not a talent thing. So the coaches just have to decide. They don't always play the best players. They play the guys that they trust. Mm-hmm. So part of the teaching mechanism when you're developing is you got to get guys ready to play where you have options. It's not a. I don't.
There's a lot of good things. I mean, Winery, I thought there's a couple plays he made where you saw, okay, that's why this kid was, if not a 5-star, right, being a 5-star. Donnie Jones, man, I since high school, every single time that kid's around the football, he's making a play. Somehow, a guy's open, got by him down the sideline. The play didn't count because it was actually a false start, but still got his hand in there, punched the guy in the, kind of under his chin, knocked the ball out. He just makes plays. Vincent Shaver's play, putting the helmet right on the ball, perfect tackle, forcing the fumble. There's so much that was good. I think it's just people are apprehensive about talking about the good because, it was another close game. They made some mistakes.
If you do, then you're acknowledging or you're admitting that you didn't see areas of emphasis, right? Like it's weird.
There was a lot of good stuff. I love so much. And hey, how about this? Sorsby, who is not a bad quarterback. I mean, if you were sitting up in that press box, there were about, I'd say, 15 to 20 scouts, and they were there to watch some players. I'm sure some of them were there to see if Sorsby is an NFL pick. And what do you have, 69 yards? Good number, by the way, but not a good number for passing. He did
56.
But yeah, I mean, he made some plays with his legs late because he had to. He was like desperate. But I mean, that defense made him look like that, made him look bad like that. So you have to give them credit. Now, the rushing numbers, I did not expect them to get that many. I also didn't expect Sorsby to get over 90. I thought they'd be like about 125 or something like that.
Yeah.
But because of Sorsby, they went over 200. I was completely wrong about that. But overall, special teams, solid field goals, 51-yard field goal. Dude, be excited about that. Be excited about the fact that they made the snaps.
I just didn't see them running the ball with success without having any sort of interior run game.
And they had him in the first two runs, right? I think the first two runs were 19 yards.
Run game, I felt like, man, you should just shore that up because they had no inside run game to keep you honest.
Yeah,
it was the orbit motion, the reverse, and then the scrambles. It was the mad dash is sprinting to the edge, trying to get leverage and just turn the corner. Okay, we can fix that. Like, I don't know how much of a living you can make doing that, but for week one in a night, I mean, they did what they had to do.
I had some problem. The play calling, you're sitting there and you're trying to run the clock out in a nice 6-minute offense opposed to a 4-minute offense. And they got a little cute with that inside handoff to Barney losing two.
Like, he dropped back to throw. This better not hit the ground, right?
Yeah,
That's what you're thinking?
Giving them a time. Well, before that play. So you're moving the ball and it's first down and you give the ball on a little jet sweep to Barney, right? It loses, I think it lost 2 yards. But I mean, like, you're running the ball okay. You're moving it with short passes. Then the next play is the sack. And all of a sudden you're at third and whatever it was. And obviously you weren't going to be able to get a first down then. And they did fine. I think too much of it is like they tried to get the ball to Mosey on some of that motion, that jet motion stuff early. They're being a little cute, I thought. I thought they could have really just kind of lined up with Emmett. And between that and the short passing game, because those corners for Cincinnati were given a lot of room. And not deep. They were obviously giving room underneath. And so take the profit, take the 5 to 7 yards.
You could see it from where you were, right? People wanted Nebraska to take these vertical shots. And I'm like,
they weren't there.
Letting you, like, I mean, they're giving so much ground and they wanted to rally and tackle. Like that.
Yep.
You could see the umbrella that they were trying to put around that thing, forcing Dylan to be patient and play catch. Second series, I said to Kyle Zone, I go, this is going to be an interesting discipline deal with Coach Holgerson because he's going to want to take shots. Cincinnati's just not going to let him. They're just going to have to right away. I was like, they're just going to have to play catch.
Grind it out. Yeah. Yep. And I heard you say that. I listened to a lot of the radio. The radio was extra delayed, whatever reason. You guys were a solid 2 minutes behind the game on the internet. It was a little bit harder, but during the breaks, I'd cut highlights and stuff. And yeah, I mean, you watch a game like that and you say to yourself, that's why we go out there for 19 days or whatever and bust our butts in conditioning and go out there and when we do our tackling and tackle our, because that game could come down to one bad play, one bad missed tackle. And for the most part, Nebraska made all of those. I don't know how many they missed. I'd have to go back and watch over again, but it was a solid performance.
I went through them because I was so pissed at some of the tackling techniques that they use, which is clearly taught because
they go low a lot.
They go low a ton, even when receivers have their backs to them, which I mean, that's a muscle memory thing. Like that's something that you do repetitively. I don't know if they're used to hitting bags or whatever, but having said that, it was interesting to see that since Cincinnati missed less. I think they had less than 7 missed tackles total, which they had a lot of one-on-ones. Nebraska to the ground. I'm like, is this a good tackling team or is this? But then I had to think about the concept was they're constantly coming forward. They're never chasing because they kept everything in front of them.
Yeah.
Right. So that lends itself to being in good position to get guys to the ground.
How many times was it that you saw guys in the open space and you think, oh, if he makes that one guy miss, obviously the Barney play, he's hitting his head on the goalpost.
Runs, EJ's gonna want back.
Yeah. And then also like little things like that. And I know Barney got tripped up, but in the end, that's the thing he's got to make. He's got to make happen. He's got to get that leg up, high knees or whatever else, and not get tripped up because he's the guy that should go for it. He should get you the explosive plays. He's the guy that should get you the 40, 50-yard plays. And when he gets tripped up like that, look, it's bad luck. But still, he's got to. And ball security. There was a couple times where the ball came out and it didn't cost them. It went out of bounds or it was after. But you still got to worry about that. Those fumbles. And you had a team. You went against a team who was one of the best in the country last year, forcing fumbles. So you knew they would be searching for that and trying to knock the ball out. And they did knock the ball out a few times. It just didn't cost Nebraska. That's another thing. Hey, no turnovers.
They're well coached defensively. They're well coached.
Yeah, they were. And another good thing, another positive thing, I thought, that tight end with Hoyer or whatever, I thought that he would have a big game. And they controlled him. He had that one little out down by the goal line late, but he didn't. Did he have more than 2 catches? I didn't think he had that much.
I think he had
2 catches.
He's right out 2.
I'm not sure how anybody on Cincinnati would have more than 2 catches. He only completed 13 for the whole game.
That's true.
Royer had 3 for 11.
3 for 11.
So, I mean,
3 of them. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I somebody in the comments mentioned, I don't know why, or he was surprised they couldn't just play catch more. That's all I thought they did. I mean, Dylan completed 80% of his passes. I thought it showed an incredible amount of discipline from both Dylan and Dana to say, hey, they're not going to let us. Like if you're playing 2-3 deep safeties and you're playing that zone and you're playing the corners way off, like this was a very much make the routine plays routine, right? If you complete 80% of your passes, that's pretty much making those plays, right? Like I'm not talking myself into this, right? Like that's what happened.
There was some inefficiency, I mean, I think Emmett had like 10 targets for like 20 yards receiving. Was something like I think I remember seeing that on the stat thing. So there's some inefficiencies.
That's exactly the numbers: 10 targets, 7 catches.
It's crazy to think about, and the amount of yards that he got off of that. But it's better than a 1-yard loss. It's better than a lot of times it's stretching the defense, setting up something later. So it's going to get better.
Oh, 10 of 18 on 3rd down without being in 2nd and 6.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the math as a coach, right? It's just how it works. So I'm not super bent out of shape about that. I actually think, when he had his shots, they ran the 4 verticals and the 3 by, and he threw the out route to Hunter.
Mm-hmm. Nice throw.
To the sidelines. That's a long ass
like a 50-yard throw.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think they wanted to take their shots. It's just Cincinnati wasn't going to give it to them.
Props to the transfer wide receivers. I mean, Key and Hunter both made great plays during the game. Key made a great missed tackle that went it was in the first half, and it was to the near side where we were on the press box, and he gave a dead leg to that dude and got another 6 yards or whatever. It looked good. Both those guys look like legitimate Big Ten wide receivers, and along with Barney, and then Quinn Clark got a couple plays. Hey, Mills came in, and the first 2 times he was in, they targeted him. So obviously, I like him a lot. We're getting him in to get him the ball. So that depth of that wide receiver is real.
Cortez Mills
hits his head on the goal.
He's banging his head on the goal.
Yeah, that ball's behind him. If that ball's in front of him, it's a touchdown.
Catch. I mean, honestly, it was a good catch on that.
I mean, I was like,
he almost hurt himself trying to catch it.
So that I wanted to see them come back to that a little more. It's like that little trail route where they clear, they run, they come in right behind it, and I think.
You worried all, Damon, about some of the misdirection that Cincinnati got them with, like some of the backside contain they lost. I mean, obviously that pass to the running back, that should have probably been a touchdown or a 30-yard game that he dropped. And then we saw it later with the inside handoff. There was some times they lost contain where it seemed like they were over pursuing a little bit.
That might have been my first.
Yeah, you mentioned with the reverse
10 minutes in my first segment. That's one of those. But to the good those zone it's like that's correctable, right? That's just eye discipline and fundamentals. That's not a scheme thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I allowed myself to think, you know what? Like you got to know if you're a counter boot reverse guy, if you're a cutback guy, like stay home. Like you don't need hero ball. Just do your 1 of 11 and we'll be good. And the problem is when they did it, they got chunked.
Yeah.
It distorted the numbers a little bit in terms of its totality, but it's correct. If I'm a coach and not just being a fan or home, it's correctable, right? Like you just need more reps, right? McGahee's not going to run that play down from the backside. Just stay home.
Yeah.
Right. Just stay home.
You got too excited. Yeah. And hey, think about it. Imagine if you're a Cincinnati fan this morning. The way you handled into the first half was brutal. The way you played the game, most of the game was pretty bad. You gave yourself a bunch of opportunities to make plays and you didn't. Cincinnati fan feels like Nebraska's banners felt over the last few years with those games.
Why the screen on 2nd and 1?
I don't know. I said that. I go, that's a screen on 2nd and 1? You got just pick it up. Move the chains.
Loved the spot, right? And he wanted to call a timeout, but they moved this. They were gonna move the stick, so he sat on it. He's like, "You gotta be like." You could hear the parabolic. It's like, "You gotta be kidding me."
What was the play call, Damon? You think the 1st and goal in the tee? What do you think they were going to do there? End up in a false start by Pritchard.
I think Bonner was going to get it on like lead old school Packer sweep.
Okay, not quarterback sneak for 1901 Severe hitting the bet.
He won, but because of the formation.
Right, I know they're going to run a sweep and you're going to give it to the third guy. And
Bonner's body language after the play. I don't know if he was bothered by the penalty or that he was going to get the ball, but they were all moving to the right. I think it seemed like it was going to be like old school.
Yeah. I watched Dylan through the binoculars after that play in the huddle, and he gave it a little bit to Pritchard. He did, like not like joking, but like kind of pointed at him, like you can't do that. That was pretty solid.
Let me ask you something. Kyle and I were walking through all these scenarios because I'm doing the math in my head. Would you have used the timeout in front of the 2-minute warning, or not in front of, but like 1st and 2nd, bang, bang, and then let it run to the 2-minute warning, or saw what happened on 1st down or 2nd down and then go back to back with the timeouts?
We're talking about what they did at the end of the game, right? What Cincinnati did?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I thought they ran it. I thought they did fine. I thought they did it. Once Barney lost that 2 yards on that handoff, I think that kind of set up what you were doing from there. But no, I mean they had plenty of time. When he threw the pick, they still have 40 seconds left when he threw the interception. They were doing fine. They worked it out. They got down the field. They should have played for the field goal. But they did what Nebraska didn't do. They took that chance and they got picked
at the end of the first half.
Oh, the first half was, I don't know what they were doing at the end of the first half. It didn't make any sense. I think actually in that situation, once they got the ball back, you really need to kneel on it. When you had no production on offense and you're back at your 9-yard line, at that point, you just got to get to halftime.
So I think the good play on 1st down was a little bit of fool's gold for him.
Yeah.
Probably made him think that we can move the ball, but I would not. I would have said to myself, first of all, we're in a bad situation. They're getting the ball to start the half. We're tired.
Quarters, they look dead in the water offensively.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see what? And that was coming out. Remember, they had Nebraska, that long drive of like 16 plays. They get down there, and I think that's when they set up for the field goal. And then 3 and out for Cincinnati, their defense goes back on the field. I'm sure in the first half, when they got to halftime, they were happy just to be able to sit down. Because that defense was worn down after those 2 long drives.
And they are gassed.
They looked gassed at the end of the first half.
They were. That's why they needed to get in the locker room, man. Don't mess around. Don't be throwing the ball around, try to do something at that time. You got to just get out of there, especially first game of the season.
Are you more surprised at 188 or the fact that Spencer Rattler is a starting quarterback in the NFL?
I was on, a text thread with Saints fans, and I sent the text out. I said, look, give me this scenario. I want 2 wins over the Falcons, lose the rest, and give me the 1st overall pick. and that would be the greatest season in the world. I would take that in a heartbeat.
Hey, since
take it in a heartbeat.
Involved in a infamous trade, giving up some first rounders, do you think you could be the beneficiary of getting multiple first rounders, say from like Dallas, for next year's draft? Are you allowing yourself to extrapolate on commandeering multiple first round picks?
The only way that happens is if Tyler Shuck somehow during the season shows them that he could be a quarterback and they don't have to go get one. But I don't. If I have the first overall pick, I'm not trading anything. I'm taking the best quarterback on the board, and I'm saying that's what I'm building.
They'll have them.
Yeah, I know. Listen, first of all, there was a guy that was a Cowboy fan who's like, we should have gotten 3 first round picks. I'm like, you crazy? Joey Galloway didn't get first 3 picks. Nobody's getting 3 first round picks. I'll take what they gave because the Cowboys have a lot of needs.
Yeah, that's a haul.
Ton of needs. That's a haul. I'll take that and I'll move on. And hey, Micah, thanks for everything you gave me. All those guys are one play away from never playing again. And so give me all of that, those commodities, and I'm going. I'm fine. And pay them all that money and see what ends up happening. Good luck to the Packers. Good luck to the Cowboys. I just know the Saints are going to be horrible. Horrible.
They're already pretty good.
Severe, you ready to bring the Manning family back to New Orleans?
So there's no way that dude may be in school another 3 years. I don't know. He's not coming out of school. I don't think. If he won the Heisman and Texas won the national championship, maybe. But I think he stays 2 more years like his uncles did. And I would never want to put that kind of pressure on a young man. It would be so much ridiculous. You go back to 1969. The year I was born, and the year that Archie had an incredible year at Ole Miss. You look at that draft, you look at Plunkett, you look at Pastorini, you look at Archie Manning, and all those guys got beat the hell most of their career. Plunkett got lucky late with the Super Bowls, but I would never want a guy to have to come and live up to what Archie was to the city and have to go in there and try to make it. Get somebody else, let him go and have his career wherever it ends up, like Peyton did, like Eli did. That's a lot of pressure on a kid named Arch. A lot of pressure.
Which one, as a capper, have you reconciled the most? Texas still not being favored, even though it may cross the 0. I see it's down to 1.5 places. Or Baylor still catching points at home against Auburn.
The Baylor one's probably the bigger surprise to me. But I actually thought that Texas would be favored in that game. If you just do the comparisons,
me too,
and experience a quarterback alone, I thought they'd be favored. And so maybe you're right. It crosses 0.
Line, it is now even. It is $1.10 a piece for Texas Ohio State.
Yeah, I loaded that in early, and I had it at plus 108. Plus 108 is where I had it.
Okay, so you probably got it when Texas was +2, maybe.
That in there 1.5 maybe. I have to go back and look at it, but I think the LSU game 3.5 is a lot for that team. If that's not a field goal game, I'm shocked. The Texas one surprised me. Baylor's like that. Yesterday, man, if you looked at what Boise had coming back, and I know that you were like kind of friends a little bit, but that defensive coordinator hasn't gotten better over the years, and so that one didn't surprise me. There were a bunch of lines out there I thought were. Although I did think that maybe Akron could score some points. That hurt a little bit, but you bet you lose, you bet you win.
Who would you make the fave in Notre Dame, Miami?
I'll tell you, I took Miami. I believe in, and maybe I'm wrong. I believe in the Carson Beck bounce back. I really do. And I've seen Notre Dame, have play incredibly, get into the national championship game, but I still don't know how much confidence I have them in game 1. I took Miami personally. I don't know if I'd make them a favorite, but I think Miami's the better team overall, and I believe that Miami's going to win that game. Now, can Cristobal, can he do the thing that he struggles at the most? Can he, in the last 2 minutes of a game, not do something stupid? The stupid rule where he hands the ball off when he doesn't have to, and they fumble and they lose the game, like he did both at Oregon. So as long as he doesn't do that, I think they can win that game. Maybe I'm biased. I still have a lot of low down Notre Dame hate in me too. So
I'm gonna give you a kind of an off the grid. Keep an eye on. Virginia Tech will give South Carolina.
They're winning.
all day.
They're winning.
And I think they're still it opened at 10. They're still getting 8.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech could win that.
They're winning that game. They're winning that game. This is a little bit left over from people being excited about Virginia Tech last year and everybody being on them and them losing early. They look at it and they don't want the same thing to happen. And so they're the better team in this matchup. I wish it was at Virginia Tech, but still, I think they win that game outright.
That's funny that you're eyeballing that. I thought that because there's so many other sexy matchups. I'm like, you might be able to slide that one in. No,
it's a good one because again, South Carolina people believe, and I like them too, and I like their head coach, and I think that they got a nice offense. But I don't know. I think Virginia Tech's the match that's going to on whenever the next day after that game is like we're really upset. I'm like, I know number wise it is, but I don't know who's a better team.
That's our guy, Michael Severe, host of Big Red Wrap-Up, director of the Jet Foundation. Michael, appreciate the time. We'll talk to you soon.
Sorry for being late.
You do have a real job. I may have said, what in the world could you possibly be doing where you weren't calling us back?
Dude, I got budget. I've been on these budget thing where we're trying to get that done for the last 3 weeks. It is killing me. I'm not an Excel sheet guy. That's not what I was raised to do. It's not easy, buddy. It's not easy being an executive director of anything.
Yeah, hey, bucking the trim, man. Brothers handling fiscal budgets. That a boy.
All right, guys.
All right.
Later. Like, don't crack.
I think it's time to go. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. More Hurrdat Sports Live coming up next with Mike Sautter here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I think that was the key. We made a play, right? And I thought the offense did a really nice job. Obviously they went down, they took the 10-point lead, and then that drive, we had a great drive going to that one, just that one play, But even then, we made them use their timeouts. I had them in the 4th and 5, had the penalty. Great call by John. That quarterback eluded us. We had, every time we got close to some pressure, he was able to make a play with his feet. And really, even that long drive. There's 2 drives in a row they went tempo where they didn't throw a ball. One ball in the flat, but great call by John. He brought the simulated pressure, went to cover 2. They took a shot at the hole. I just saw the guy running wide open, and all of a sudden Malcolm shows up, and that's what Malcolm Hartzog does. He doesn't talk a lot. He just makes plays, and happy to see him have a chance to make a play. That was a nice call by John.
It's just a look we have in each other's eyes. We have tremendous trust in each other, and I told Coach that I was gonna make it happen. And with all guys, 11 guys executing their job, we scored a touchdown. And Dane shook the dude pretty bad the first time, and Hogue let me know in the ear, you got it. So we ran the same play, and we hit it for a touchdown.
How satisfying is it to win that close game?
Oh, it's huge. It's big for us. Because that's something that we focus on. It's also big for our fan base.
We're in the neighborhood, just down the street. With a wide variety of home equity products to help you create a relaxing oasis. So you can kick back and relax in comfort. Centrist Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Mike Sautter.
Yeah.
Mike Sautter.
Oh, man, you're going to put me on the spot.
Mike Sautter.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. Don't forget, you can get 75-cent wings all weekend. Get your football fix in here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill and get some cheap wings while you're at it, either at La Vista or at Gretna. I know somebody that loves the wings here, maybe as much as I do. It's our guy, Mike Sautter from Hurrdat Sports and NebPreps. What's going on, Mike?
I love wings.
Wow. Good morning, Jerome. How we doing?
I love lamb.
I'm good. I had wings the other day. Not from the Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, but someone else. From the guy that follows me every Friday. From
Krabby Pants.
Yeah.
So my shower gel, or you know how you get the 3 dispensers in hotels?
Hold on. You actually use that?
No. Listen. No, I had my Ziploc bag of bar of Irish Spring because I'm super ghetto and I didn't have a soap container. So I put it in a Ziploc bag. I was pretty upset with myself. And
those things are like 50 cents.
Listen. Okay. All right. Hey, man. Off to an awful squirrely start, man. Your boy is already feeling pretty bad about not going to get the soap container from, Osco or Costco or Skaggs or somewhere, right? I know it's in the shower section and it's cheap, right? The trial size. I understand.
Pretty easy to find.
Oh, God. Hey, I did get a toothpaste holder, though. I did not put that in a Ziploc bag.
There you go.
That's good.
Yeah, whatever, idiots. So I'm reading the deals because I lost one of my earrings in the shower, and luckily I heard it kind of hit the ground. So I'm looking up, and bam, it was right there, and I was reading the names, and I was like, ooh, if I had my phone right now, one of them, it was labeled a kind of a not nice term that I call Verz, and I was like, I was going to caption, I was going to take a picture of it, and I was going to send it to him. I was like, hey, I found your shower gel, but I forgot. But it was a great name. I'll have to tell it to you off air.
Do people actually use that stuff that's in the shower, like the bottles of stuff that sits there in the showers?
I don't know. I was just happy that I had multiple shower heads. So I had the big square one.
Oh.
And then I had the little detachable.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is cute.
You guys are going to make fun of me, but some of the nicer hotels you stay at, the soaps are actually really nice that they give you.
Are they?
I think it's pretty cool.
So I think you have to give it the squirt test. You have to see how. You have to see how.
Yeah. You don't just
runny it is.
You're just going
versus kind of globby jelly.
Yeah.
People can put some stuff in those things. That's all I'm saying.
No, the nice.
I mean, really?
The nice places give you sealed ones, Mike.
I know that. I'm talking about the ones that are, the pump in the shower.
Listen to something else. That's pretty easy. I don't have to hear you bitch. Turn the channel. So how are we doing last night?
Last night was
the last text you responded to was 12:47. Good for you for staying up.
Yeah, it was about 1:30 when I went to bed. I'm gonna go back. I need to, on my to-do list today, is go back and watch the Millard West win.
Yeah, I'm dying to watch it.
Woo!
Did you?
Hello.
We play them in a couple of weeks, so I mean we're gonna get the film anyway. But yeah. That was shocked for me. I was shocked.
So I was there the first half, so I could cue you in a little bit on what happened first half. Miller North was super messy. They got into the red zone twice without getting any points. First one was a pass to 11 that he fumbled, was down around like the 10. The Millard West recovered immediately. That was, I think, on the opening drive of the game. Then they got down to the 20, went through for it on fourth down, didn't get it, which doesn't surprise me that they went for it because the special teams looked atrocious. Couldn't punt, couldn't kick off, missed an extra point. So I mean, it was as bad as you can get really on special teams. Like it was pretty rough. And the only points that Millard West got in the first half was off of like a I don't think it was supposed to be a pooch kickoff, but that's what it turned into. I just don't think they could kick it any further. And the guy went
kick return
50, 60 yards untouched, just all the way to the house. Like nobody even got close to him. So, yeah, like it was, I can definitely see how that game ended up the score it did. I don't know what the specifics were in the second half because I had to leave to watch Nebraska. But no, I mean, Miller North was messy. They had critical offensive penalties that set drives back several times in the first half. Like it was messy all around. Now they had some guys that I like. But it was messy football.
Yeah, I can tell you one thing. Just I know it's a pretty big win for Dave McEnany at Millard West. Like it's a big win.
I like that hire. It was pretty. They're well coached, man.
Yeah, he's a good coach.
Good
coach. Dude. Building culture there. That's a pretty. I mean, for your first game. Zero expectations, outside expectations. To win that game is a pretty big kind of start to his coaching head coaching career at Millard West. So I'm happy for him. He's a great guy. He's doing all the right things. So it's a good one. I am looking forward to watching.
They got to build those numbers back a little bit.
Yeah, they need to kind of just keep the kids that are in the building and in the program and the young guys and all that stuff. And I think he'll do a nice job of that. So it was good. But I'm going to go. I have the actual film pulled up right now. So I need to go back and watch it.
Fill me in on what happened on the second half because I didn't get to see it. So I am interested in your thoughts when you get a chance to watch that.
Yeah. Other than that, hey, Tay Jenkins is a pretty good little young whippersnapper there.
Pretty good at football.
I asked you last year, and now I'm super confident in it. Remember, we were on the sidelines, and I said, I'm afraid to say this because he rushed for over 7,000 yards and a bajillion touchdowns. But Tate, I call him TJ. Tate gives me a faster Calvin Strong vibe. Low to the ground, impossible to tackle.
Hard to tackle.
They're punishing runners for little guys.
Really strong for not being
really good practice players. Mm-hmm. He gives me Calvin Strong vibes where you could just give him the ball, and at some point, multiple times, he's going to get you.
And the thing about him and Calvin, if I remember right with Calvin, they both have the duck foot walk.
Yes, both slew foot. Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
No, it's so that's
great, funny person, funny personality.
Good kids, fun, for their team, want to win, all of that stuff. He was pretty dang good last night. And I will say this about North, they're going to be fine. It's just, is it game one? Westside's pretty good. Hey, newsflash.
Outside of the kickoff return, which he got us. Did you like our game? Could you see our game plan for Darian?
Yeah, you just
he wasn't going to get us.
No,
wasn't going to get us.
Yeah, and
somebody else was going to have to beat us.
So their kickoff return, but he was making the kicker miss or making the punter miss away from having one of the best punt returns I've ever seen in my life.
He's the real deal.
That was stupid.
He's the real deal.
Darian's we know that. He's really, really good. So
I told Ravi, our only real claim to fame that we try to hang our hat on is your plan B or C is going to have to get us. It's not going to be your primary option.
A game's not happening.
No, we needed 2 more guys to account for Millard South's 5th weapon in Amir Hill. But the first 2
for the first 2 we're doing it.
Your first 14 weapons aren't going to get us.
And Jerron Kennett had a nice, run for a touchdown too. Got loose.
You should see my text over that play.
As that offensive line gets better and more experienced throughout the year, they're gonna be like, I'm not sure I want to play North in the playoffs, right? Like because I think they're gonna be, pretty good when it's all said and done. I think they'll get a lot better as the season goes on, and obviously that's a goal of everybody. I'm just talking they have so much inexperience, varsity level experience up front. So I do know this. Owen James had a nice game too.
He might. There's some other people that can make this claim. He's so grossly under recruited. It gives me the willies.
Quentin Warren's in that group too.
He is.
I love Quentin.
Owen, and here's the thing, man. OJ doesn't need a babysitter.
No.
Like that dude is going to show up. He's going to work his ass off. He's learned to be a two-way guy as his knee gets better. Like he's just really, really, really good. And he's a victim of his own genes too, right? He's like got to be the trimmest fit 260 in America, right?
He doesn't look that big, like from just walking around.
Yeah, it's been the summer hot. He's probably like 242, but he's just really good.
And I guess another person for I was gonna say you guys. Let's say Westside is Spencer Stuthy.
Yeah,
he had a nice game last night. 5 tackles, a sack. So that's a nice addition to Westside too.
He's not quite a savant, but he has really, really high football IQ.
Mm-hmm.
He has really high football IQ. He's a great kid too. I call him Spencer for hire, but he has no idea what that even means because it's like a show in the 80s. But he's got a really high football IQ. I kind of like Cannon's delivery at the quarterback, not running back Cannon.
Yeah.
But I liked his delivery too. We wanted to force him to be patient, obviously, and not give up anything deep. But I think they could build around that a little bit.
Yeah, he's got a nice presence about him, right? Like who is the North quarterback? Oh man, I'm blanking on the name.
Nate Nelson.
Yes, like that calm kind of confidence, if you will. Yeah, he was kind of the same.
Mike, were you surprised at all about kind of just stylistically how that game played out? Seemed offensively started off a little bit slower. Was it like 13-10, 16-10 at one point, and then
16-13,
and then really started to pick up pace offensively in the second half. I didn't personally think it was going to play out. I mean, I didn't think the total was going to be in the 80s for sure. But how did that game play out to you compared to your expectations?
Yeah, it was.
It kind of snowballed a little bit.
It was fast moving, man. And a couple fumbles, right? Like that kind of just game change flip things. And then Braylon, made some plays. He didn't in the first half.
Had a really nice touchdown throw to Eli Johnson.
Yeah, throwing the ball, he made some plays. And the 95-yard drive, the second drive of the third quarter, just killed. That was the backbreaker.
Yeah,
like that was the game right there. So yeah, it was good.
Where are you tonight?
I don't know. Where do you think I should go?
I don't know, man. I'm hoping to catch my fourth wind. I was so excited for Central Bellevue West. I don't know, man. I need a hot meal, and I kind of would like to chill, but
take a nap.
So I can't.
Oh, I love taking naps,
but I just don't see myself falling asleep in the daylight.
Wednesday, I laid down for a total of 28 minutes, and I literally did kind of fall asleep a little bit for probably 10.
I don't even know what that's like. What are your choices?
I'll say the debates between Omaha Central and
you're not going to head out to see the Haymakers? I thought you were going to Hurrdat.
No, I ain't doing that.
Bennington,
Waverly.
So that 10 points may win that game.
Yeah, that one could be like a 17-14 or something crazy, like something low. So Central at Bellevue West, that's where I'm leaning. Bennington, Waverly, or I kind of would like to see Scott Norris too. I'm just intrigued to see what that looks like. Evan Greenfield is the starting quarterback, by the way, for Norris. So
really,
yeah,
huh?
Yeah, really good basketball player. So
that whole hoops class over there is good.
Yeah, so those are like kind of, or the Papio game. Obviously, there's intrigue there.
Yeah, the rivalry.
Yeah.
What's
finding a place to park there is going to be the issue, though, unless you get there at like 5 o'clock.
So how come you don't think more people use the east side of the parking?
Foundation Field. Yeah. Well, they're gonna tonight because you don't have an option. I bet people will be parking at the amphitheater place.
Oh, at the amphitheater? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, people are gonna park all over that place. Same thing, Bellevue West. Hey, if you're going to Bellevue Central at Bellevue West tonight, you might want to get there at 4 o'clock.
So who's in the so
they got volleyball too, right?
Yeah.
Who actually ended up saying yes to the invite?
Volleyball. Well, Scott and West Side and Papio South. I have it here. Give me a second.
Just a mini state tournament. That's all.
Yeah, it's like it's a state tournament. It's like the best tournament outside of a state tournament. Here, I got it right here. Let's see. Pool A is Scott, Westside, Millard West, Duchesne. That's pretty good in volleyball. And then Pool B is Papio South, Elkhorn South, Gretna. Those are 3 teams that should be in the state tournament. Pool C, Elkhorn North, Millard South. Pool D is Marion, Western Christian, Lincoln East, and Bellevue West.
Huh.
Pretty good.
I'm so not used to volleyball on the weekends unless it's state.
Yeah, so this one is it's a big deal. I that's why I'm kind of leaning, because it starts at 4, the volleyball, so I could go catch the little volleyball and then go to the football game.
Just double dip a little bit. Yeah, that makes
yeah.
Who do you does Bellevue West Central boil down to who controls their emotions better early on, or you see this thing just being a grimy grudger?
100%.
It's absurd.
What's the over under on personal fouls in that game?
100%. Couple.
Like 4.5? Is that too high?
That's probably too high, but there's gonna be some dumb something that shouldn't happen, bad timing. I feel like that's gonna happen, right? Yeah.
This is the first time I can remember in a matchup like this, the first 4 or 5 things mentioned don't have anything to do with Bellevue West. They just it's Haney, it's Pittman, it's Newsom, it's Caprice Keith. Like I just don't remember in a matchup like this.
Yeah,
where Bellevue West seems like such an afterthought.
Let me tell you something. Bellevue West is still pretty all right. Like, they're going to be.
I don't think anybody knows, right?
I know.
That part of it, because I don't think people know enough, because this is the youngest he's been to in some spots.
Especially up front, they're really young. And Micah Santiago obviously is a really good player, has Iowa State and Florida State offers already. And he's a sophomore. He's going to be they tried to not have him do both ways, but it looks like
you might have to
there's a little injury maybe up front for them. So
unnecessary.
I didn't say who or what position.
Okay. Right.
I'm not about to do that. So they just had to shift a couple things around, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So anyway, and hey, listen, Jermaine Green.
I watched him at the city track meet with Micah 2 years ago at a little middle school in Bellevue. I couldn't believe they're in the same grade. I'm like,
he's a monster.
Is a monster.
Yes.
It's absolute
Santiago.
Monster. Yes.
Well, and Micah kind of grew a little bit later.
Yeah, Micah's teeny.
Like, he's gotten bigger now, but I'm
like, how are these guys in the same grade?
Hey, let me tell you, that Micah Benning kid, I don't know, how did his arms get longer?
I don't know. He's gonna be pretty good.
No, his arm
pops night though.
I was like, whoa, where do you get this length from? Like his arms really, last night watching him, I was like, Jesus, I just saw him
I went from fretting and pacing and he hung up on me because I think he thought I was going to cry, and he's not emotional. So he's like, "Oh, Dad, I'll be good." And I was like,
fine.
I was even going to make him a video.
You were like, send him one?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, glad I didn't. He probably would have been like, dude, what are you doing? Grow up.
Dad, I love you.
It's like talking to a machine.
I love that kid.
No. I mean, I was miserable yesterday, and this dude's just living his best life. Like, yeah,
it's out here.
Hey, one other thing on from last night, Jaden Succo is officially back. 21 carries for 207 yards for Oakland.
So
that's pretty good.
You know what's funny? I remember when he was hurt against us, and that's the first time I had seen him live since, film obviously and scouting him, and he had lost quite a bit of weight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I saw him this summer in passing, and I didn't say a word to him. He was probably about 20 feet away from me, and I go, "Yep, that's the guy that I saw the first half of last season. He looks like $1 million."
Yeah. He looked like me at the end of last year, and now like standing next to him at practice and talking to him, I was like, dude, like you've been in the weight room, like it's big chested and stuff like that. So
for all intents and purposes, he seems like a super person too.
He's a great kid. Like he's super like mature and just respectful, all of those things. He's one of those kids that as a dad of daughters, like, yeah, like a kid like that, I would be okay with. Right. So
let's not, one or two more years, all that goes out the window. I mean, they're just young enough now where it's cute and you envision the thought. It does about 5th, 6th grade. No one will ever be good enough at any point in America.
Let me tell you, your boy's going to have a real hard time with all that.
Oh, I know. Who you tell?
I am not ready for any of that. I'm going to be like, excuse me, what? Who? What? No.
And I overdo it too. Zoe wants to go in the bathroom and play makeup, and I'm telling you, I turn into like the Scrooge, and she's probably like, "What is wrong with you?" Like, I don't want even. Yeah, no.
Hey, this morning, the perfume bottle made it out before school, and I'm like, "What? You're in 3rd grade. You don't need to do that."
Listen,
like, what the hell are we doing?
I'm embarrassed to even show you Zoe's shelf. I bet you she has 10 fragrance bottles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, she takes after you.
That's her mom. I like
how many
fragrances?
How many fragrances you have? How many fragrances you have?
Probably 4.
Hey, at least she probably doesn't use the.
Man. You should see how she has them set up. Now that's me. Totally OCD by color, by. Nah, man, Sutko, I'm sure he could be a great kid. It's going to take you about 1 more year to get that out of your head. Trust.
And I was going to say something mean, but I'm not.
So can I ask you something about Bennington?
Yeah.
So with everybody moving out that way and it being so big and the high school is getting ready to be built, how long do you think before they see the impact of that?
Oh,
you got Westview sitting right there too.
Yeah, I don't know about right away, but probably a couple years, maybe.
A couple years, you think?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm sure they know.
Yeah. So this is just my opinion here. The weird thing about the high school split and where the new one's being built, it's literally going to be built north and west of the current high school, like 1.5 miles away or something. Doesn't make a lot of geographical sense to me. So maybe it's, a couple miles, but it's still, I would think like east and west would be probably the better idea. But I guess that's, where they did try, I guess, east, if you remember at first on the landfill thing, but that got shot down. So it'll be very kind of like, what is that, 180th? Like, is it going to be 180th west of there, or how do you kind of go around the current school to who's going which way. So that the demographic part will play a little bit of a piece too, maybe. So
let me how about high school basketball news? Level of surprise?
With Lee Robinson, I thought you were talking about Dennis Pritchard, by the way, going to be the head girls basketball coach at Malcolm now, which Dennis Pritchard was at Lincoln East and Falls City Sacred Heart before that. That's a very good hire for Malcolm, because Malcolm girls basketball is going to be very good
apparently
in the next 5 years.
Apparently Malcolm's just good at everything. So
yeah. So
5 years, I'm like,
what Verge call him? Clip joint?
I mean, shout out to Williger, man. I don't know what's going on out there, but
they're
like, I don't know, man. Malcolm is like,
stay pressing.
girls basketball, they could go on a pretty big heater here for about 5 to 8 years, by the way. No, the Lee Robinson news is what you're talking about. And I'm a little surprised at the location,
Brooklyn,
where,
right?
Yeah, the choosing of where to go. I guess I'm a little surprised at that. I'm a little surprised that he decided to do it now.
Timing, that's awkward. Still feels a little awkward.
A little bit, yeah. So I mean, but to be honest, he's a kid that probably could benefit from a new environment.
Little change of scenery.
Yeah.
You good, DB? Have anything to add?
Not sure. Brooklyn.
No. I got nothing.
All right. Sautter, make sure.
Before I get out of here, I do need to shout out the Bloomfield Bees for pounding Stanton 30-0 last night.
Yeah, I'm a little biased when it comes to Stanton.
I love Coach Sautter, but that's that was a whoa.
I might have to put their cap back on my bedpost.
Give
them some good juju.
We like all Mustangs, so riding with Stanton.
Yeah, seems like kind of a reach. I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
So, are you just going to shoot me a text when you land the plane on? You're just banking on Central Bellevue West?
I think that's probably where I'll end up, and then if that gets crazy or out of control or whatever, I will be.
Yeah, I don't see that.
No, I don't. I think it'll be a close game. And I was like, okay, I could just pivot to somewhere else, because I don't have to be stuck anywhere tonight in one game.
You're gonna laugh, but you want to know, if of all the weapons Central has, you want to know what I would say? Don't let BJ
feet.
Don't let his feet beat you.
Yep.
He makes 1 or 2 plays a game where he breaks your back. Don't let that guy get out of the pocket, because he plays with some poise.
Yeah, we talked about it before. He can whatever. So also shout out Zane Flores last night, by the way.
Yeah. And you know what? He's had to hold him off, because I think everybody around Stillwater, they like the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it's because the OC he came with the OC,
and Zane's just like, nah, man, I'm good.
Remember, it was a couple months ago, people were calling me saying he was a bum and he hadn't played and stuff. Well, he broke his foot, so that's why he hadn't played. So now,
and if anybody knows him, he's impossible to root against. He's just a good. I don't. It's
whatever. Hey, just one last thing. Here's a friendly reminder. Never, ever, ever use the pump, shampoo, conditioner, body wash in a hotel, because you never know what's in that thing.
All right.
Only if it's sealed. That is our guy, Mike Sautter.
Bougie Jerome.
We appreciate the time. As always, make sure you let people know on your Twitter where you're going to end up tonight, and so they know what games to go to. All right?
All right.
That's our guy.
See you, Jerome.
Mike Sautter, Hurrdat Sports and NebPreps. Real quick before we take a break, get to bet on it, and our guy Verz, got to remind you that our friends at Centrist Federal Credit Union have all the financial education you need to meet your financial goals, whether it's their podcast, A Penny or Two for Your Thoughts, or their financial education center in Rich, or their social media channels. They've got you covered wherever you are and however you need that information. Get to centristfcu.org/education to get a glimpse into all of their insight and financial education resources that Centrus has to offer. That's centrusfcu.org/education, federally insured by NCUA. Coming up next, we'll get to bet on it. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, Skinner was the assistant here when I was a player. So we had a player-coach relationship, and then going to Louisville, and, I don't know if there's too many rivals in the whole country that can top the Louisville-Kentucky rival. So then we were rivals, but it's always funny because the fans wanted us to hate each other. Well, the volleyball staffs were very friendly. So we know a lot about each other's coaching styles, but I'm excited to play Kentucky. It's a new challenge. This weekend was a challenge, and Kentucky has some things that, they will be good enough to be a team in December that makes it all the way, in my opinion, based on their roster. So that'll be a heck of a challenge for us. And then you throw in the ABC and the 11 a.m. start. There's a lot going on there.
Imagine your first dream home and the feeling of walking inside for the first time. With Centrus Federal Credit Union's First Time Home Buyers program, you are at the doorstep of bringing your vision to life. Welcome home. From your neighborhood mortgage experts, Centrus Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
It can be hard when I think about it in a way of, I'm, taking over Lexi's job, and she did such an amazing job here. I think it would be hard if I was to think like that. I think how I'm kind of going into it is I learned from Lexi, and I'm, gonna continue to use her as a resource of mine, but also I am my own player, and I can do this, and while I am stepping into the role that she left behind, I am coming into it on my own as well. Yeah, I think it's a huge deal. I mean, Nebraska has a legacy of liberos, and big-time liberos too. I mean, Justine and Lexi going to, play in the Olympics and then try to make the Olympic team is obviously it's insane to think that I'm, in this position now. But like I said, I'm just going to continue to have gratitude for this position and be thankful that I'm here, and then continue to work and hopefully carry on those legacies.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I think we thought maybe we'd play the other guys a little bit more, but that we just had a lot of tempo plays, right? We had a lot of plays that we just stayed no huddle and just try to keep them from putting their pass rush package out there. So, I thought he ran really hard. I don't know how many yards he finished with. They didn't give me. I don't have stats. Hey, 108. Yeah, so thought he did what he's supposed to do. 108. Caught the ball in the backfield, made the first guy miss, picked up blitzes. So, but yeah, Mosey and Makai, they'll continue to come along.
Welcome back. Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Central Federal Credit Union. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. It is time for Bet On It, brought to you by Warhorse Sportsbook. Build your bets on the Warhorse app and visit the Warhorse casinos either in Lincoln or in Omaha to place your wagers. You can follow along on X at Warhorse Picks as well.
Can I say one thing real quick?
What's up, Shane?
I was just
can you not just encourage him to contribute?
I said, what's up, Shane?
You should just be like, hey, sure, Shane, what do you got?
I said, what's up, Shane?
Ask me, Shane. Ask me.
I was just surprised last night.
Shane, ask me.
Can I say one thing?
Absolutely, man. I haven't heard from you all morning. What would you like to say?
I was just surprised that the stat last night came out on Emmett that was only his second 100-yard game.
Yeah, he hasn't played near as much as we talk about.
So I was just going to say,
he is so talked about, yeah.
Yeah,
he really hasn't played that much.
You look at the data, he hasn't played.
I mean, you brought it up with the rushing touchdowns last year as the example.
Just having one.
Yeah, but that's a good point as well. That honestly, I was a little surprised he had another 100-yard rushing game out there. Like from the way we've sort of dove into it and his just lack of production from playing time, I was a little surprised he had another 100-yarder out there that I hadn't remembered.
So my bad, my apology.
All good, Shane. That was a very quality contribution. Thank you.
Oh, look at you, model behavior. You actually act like you have a pulse.
I was nice to you this morning.
Barely.
I'm being nice to Shane. I was very nice to you. This guy didn't take any shots. 0 shots taken this morning.
Yeah,
I was the one catching strays today. You know that.
So. What do you think the over-under on words Ben and I said to one another last night?
Ooh, 4.5.
No, it's closer to 40. I think he had hit the wall.
I would imagine if he didn't get there till 4:20.
Yeah, and he came over on the first bus.
Yeah, that 12:45 bus.
Yeah,
oof, that's rough. That's rough.
By the way, their pregame food, the spread. It would have had you thinking it was incredible. And I don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth because it's free.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Cooking in bulk would be miserable.
Oh, yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. As somebody...
At halftime, they brought these things out that I think they were cubed. I'm definitely not going to call them burnt ends. They were itty-bitty.
Yeah.
And it gave you the illusion of like having this smoke flavor.
Yeah.
Nah.
Well, you know what's better than free food?
What's that?
Free money.
Are we going to try to get some?
Yeah. What? Let's go through the big games this week.
The big games?
I want to go. I mean, if you've got a couple that you really like the lines on, I know you like Virginia Tech, South Carolina.
Yeah, I do like Virginia Tech in that one.
So that number's plus 7.5. You like it?
Gosh, didn't it open at 10? How am I only getting 7.5 now?
Well, I think some people agree with you on Virginia Tech that might be the play.
I don't know.
You're still above the magic number, though.
Yeah, I just don't know if there's any. I hate to use the word value. I don't. Okay, let's stay with it.
Do you still like it at 7.5 or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm typically not a huge hammer public play guy, but
yeah. So you're on V Tech. How do you?
Are we?
What's
now? My opinion versus Sharpie is different. I'll give you my opinion, but when I'm going to Sharpie one.
No, that's fine. These are the games that I'm picking for us to kind of keep track of throughout the season. But this doesn't go against your Sharpie record. This doesn't go against your official record.
Okay.
You get to pick those on your own. These are the games I picked. I just like to keep track of. People like to hear
and my best Doc Sadler voice. Appreciate you.
People like to hear the big games. They want to know how I feel about it.
All right, big game.
Alabama is a 14.5 point favorite over FSU.
Alabama playing without Jam Miller. FSU seemingly motivated, shaky too deep on paper.
I don't know.
I don't really love Coach White's fall camp pressers. Having said that,
yeah,
14.5 may be too many.
Seems a little rich.
Give me the war chanting Seminole tribe down there in Tallahassee.
I kind of hate to do this. I think I'm taking Bama here.
Oh, go ahead. It's what you do with your teams.
I emotionally hedge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I don't think Florida State's got enough juice to hang with Bama.
You got the juice now, man.
Texas.
Shane, you better. Is Vrzal in?
I told him a couple of minutes. I'm gonna call him.
Yeah,
we'll keep this one seg.
Yep. I know you are. I know you loved Texas when it was 2.5. You still like him at 1.5 because you think they're winning straight up.
I do. Now, if it crosses the 0, get out.
Yeah, you don't want them on minus.
No.
But as long as they're on the plus side of the board, you taking them money line just straight up.
Well, I'm getting even money. I might as well, right?
Yeah.
If I'm getting less than 1.5, I don't think it's going to land on 1.
Yeah, 1 point game doesn't do much for you.
But right now the money line is minus 110, which is what playing at ATS would be.
Yeah, so you might as well get the point.
Get the push, yeah. Build in the push.
There you go. We got Texas plus 1.5. I agree with you there. I think Texas is the better team. LSU had some trouble starting seasons as of late in openers. They're a 4.5-point dog to Clemson.
Well, I see 4, so I'm gonna take.
Okay, take the
I'm
4.
Gonna take the no.
What the hook gonna be?
I'm taking Clemson.
You like Clemson?
And I'm gonna lay the 4.
You like Clemson a lot though this year, don't you?
I don't love them. I like the fact
you like
that
them
they're
in
the
ACC,
conference.
though?
I like the fact that Klubnik is an incumbent like Nussmeier. I'll lay the 4.
I don't trust Brian Kelly, so I'm taking 4, 4.5, whatever number you want to give me. I will take Clemson on that one as well. Last one. This one I actually think is super interesting. Notre Dame, 2.5-point favorite at Miami.
Yeah, the fact that Notre Dame's favored is bugging me.
Really?
They should not be favored.
You kind of like
New
Ohio State
quarterback,
vibes here?
Denbrock, like they shouldn't be favored.
Yeah.
The game should be a pick'em, especially on the road. I don't love it. My play would be gun to head Notre Dame on the money line.
So you'll take a little minus money to get Notre Dame, but you're not taking the points.
But I'll give you the 2.5. Notre Dame should not be favored.
I'm gonna take Miami here. I don't like Miami. I actually do really like Notre Dame.
It's a trendy public play too.
But much like our guy Michael Severe, I'm kind of a Carson Beck believer.
Yeah. I hope you're right, because
I've kind of been riding with him.
I wouldn't mind seeing him do well.
So that is my pick. I'm going Miami as well. Shano, do we have our guy Verse?
We do.
Let's get
Matthew Aloysius, Machu Picchu.
Let's get to our cleanup hitter, former Husker, owner of Piezon's, Matt Vrzal. Verse, how you doing this morning?
What is up, fuckers? We are 1-0.
Hi, Maddie. We are 1-0. We are definitely 1-0.
That is all that matters.
You're not in the stream, so you can't see your picture on our stream. But they use some very good pictures. You look very svelte and very built, barrel-chested. I think this may be photoshopped.
That could be. I'm not good at pictures. Like that is not.
Yeah.
The lazy left eye kind of gets in there. Most of the time, my left eye's half closed. So no, not a picture guy.
I need some help too. So I'm the guy. I'm the guy that has sabotaged a lot of pictures with the network. I went down in the summer to take pictures, and I was infamously dubbed the guy that, how do we take 30 pictures and all 30 of them are bad? Well, a lot of it is intentional. Yesterday, they wanted to take a team picture. I kneeled on a chair like a 4-year-old. I barely smiled. They took the picture anyway. They used it for social media. They are now not allowing me to sabotage intentionally. They've worked around it and are making fun of the fact I take bad pictures, and they're putting them out anyway. If you're me, would you succumb and just start taking pictures like a regular person?
I think it's a win because I think pictures are dumb. So be in the moment and remember it.
I'm telling you, I don't even cooperate, but now they're not even bothered by it. They just take the pictures anyway.
Yeah. Option B, pop about 10, 20 milligrams of good stuff.
That's not happening.
You'll be happy as a clam. You'd be the happiest guy in that picture.
No. I thought you cared about me. Why would you recommend that?
Nance will tell you Because I think it'll help you relax. I think you need to relax. Nance will tell you, I'll flip if they try to take a picture of me, there will be a middle finger in that picture just because I don't want the picture taken.
Yeah, I don't have that.
And it's like, I got so good at it, I would just put say it's me and my sister Megan. I would put my arm over my sister Megan's shoulder, and over her shoulder there will just be a middle. And now I've got my nephews doing it. It's great. They just get it.
Hey, let me walk you through a little bit of Nebraska's perimeter run game last night versus downhill and how to get to different.
Yeah, we can get rid of the perimeter.
Okay,
go ahead.
So go ahead. So why do you think that was such a struggle?
It's just not okay. So their linemen that they're big dudes. Now, to be a big dude and get lateral quick, it's still, we're not there with that.
I mean, they were asking those guys to reach a 6-tech.
Yeah. Yep. We think we can be all things immediately, and through the reps and through the practice, do that. Our strength is straight ahead. It really is. And now it did go away a little bit, unfortunately, toward the latter phases of the game. Like, we did a nice job early of getting ourselves in favorable second down, distance. Not often, but enough.
Yeah.
And then we would go lateral. Yeah. And I'm like, man, we have the speed guys to do that. We don't have the guys up front to do that. Like, your anticipation of the count and explosion of your first two steps to get to reach a 6 technique, which for those at home, if I'm a tackle, the 6 technique is outside of my outside shoulder.
Yeah.
Like, that's hard. Now, if you want to do that, leave your tight end, almost make it like a pin pull situation where you have your H-back Lindemeyer, have them crack the stick, and then pull around it. Like, I think that could work if you really feel you have to have the edge. But what they did great job of getting the edge piece is, and Raiola was putting it on them in them little flat routes that I do not like.
That's how they control. That's how they controlled those hangers. Is that, I mean, because that's what Cincinnati was willing to give up, right? They're like, we're going to fit in the run game and keep it in front.
They wanted to see him make that throw.
You're just going to have to play catch. Like, that was the trade-off.
He did. I mean, he put it on their hands, and that I do not like that play. I do not like, but they were good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they when they needed it, and it's something that if you feel you need the outside, do it. But when they fill the box, I would like a more traditional play action pass.
Yeah.
Because I think then you can really work stuff. You'd say it's that old Teal principle. Like, everybody watched those games, and he was more than willing to get 2. You want to put 8 in the box? Well, just bam, we're going to get 2. Bam, we're going to get 2. Then we had to punt. Then we played great defense, which I think that overall they played good defense last night. Then you come back, bam, we're going to get 2. And then bam, play action pass, tight end standing by himself. Hey, you gotta kind of set those up. And you want to fill the box, play action pass is where you got to go.
God, there's so much in there. I want to get back to the defensive perception here, because I'm with you. I thought schematically I could see them. I thought the defense earned better than what the numbers ended up being. I thought they had some individual busts, but I didn't have a huge problem with scheme. Why do you think not power, I guess you just call it down, right? They just down, lead with the H-back, kick out. Yeah. Like, why do you think Cincy found some success with out leveraging Nebraska on the perimeter?
Because I think as they were in motion a lot. I'm
telling you,
I love the fact that they tailored their game plans. And then this will sound stupid to people at home, but some coaches don't do it. They tailored their game plan to the strengths of their players. Okay?
They basically tried to out leverage Nebraska, right? Like, just made it a foot race.
But Nebraska's not the biggest set of guys. So they got them in motion. We're slanting, we're twisting, we're going everywhere. What got Nebraska was the integrity of the blitz or the stunt or the twist was compromised because they got out of lane. They got out of gap responsibility. They got out of those things. They just got a little wide instead of like being tied off of the edge. They just was, and it's little. It was like a half a yard too much, or too wide.
It's half a gap. It's the difference between having your head on the inside or the outside.
Yeah.
That's why I kept so Matty, you put this into better words than I could. I kept saying, I didn't keep saying, probably 3 or 4 times I said Nebraska fit that play in the run game better than the results yielded. What am I really saying?
Scheme was right, execution was off.
Okay. Because
less is more.
Right. I'm looking at it and I'm like, how is that a 4-yard gain? Like that was fit correctly.
And then like technically, which I like where they're at, and I really like how they coach the game. You have a ton of coaching points now in this game. Okay. Where when we're running these twists and stunts and maybe you're not getting the best look, maybe a little bit of brother-in-law going on in practice. If I'm the looper, I have to be leaned at almost a 45-degree angle to the ground to turn that corner.
Yeah, you don't want any space, right?
For those at home, if I have a 3 technique and a shade or 2 technique, whatever, and they're going to slant, we're going to stay to the right, okay? I am the looper coming back to the left. I have to almost feel like my shoulder is going to lean into the 3 techniques, the furthest slanter's butt.
Yeah, like you don't
I'm going to be inside that. And then when I turn that corner, bam, then I'm going to be right there. That way, when the little shove that Cincinnati's offensive linemen were giving them, it doesn't get them off balance, right? They were twisting a little bit vertically, like up and down. So when they push them, just barely shove them, it kind of knock them out of the way. And then it let that 235-pound monster fullback just start running. I mean, man, that guy was big.
Yeah, you should see it like in person.
Those are all.
He is a big boy. I wanted to see him like on the field, like on the grass. He's a big kid, really big kid.
Those are all drillable things. Like they can drill those to death, and it'll look cleaner.
Yeah.
So that was my next. Sorry,
go ahead.
That was my next question. So how hard of a fix is the thing we're talking about right now?
It's a controllable.
Oh yeah. This is honestly for coaches. This is I told you. I told you in practice you're running these too high. I told you.
Got to come off that twist a little tighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I told your ass that was what was going to happen, and it happened. And now who's right, me or you? Okay, I'm right. So then that should eliminate you telling me you're going to do it this way. Okay, great. So now, your next 2 games, you get those repetitions. Now, I think they'll be able to focus them back up. Say, hey, you were in a dogfight with Cincy. No disrespect, Cincy. You were in a dogfight with Cincy. You better get your shit together because in 3 weeks, Michigan's going to come. And if you think the Cincy guys could shove you out the way, wait till the Michigan dudes lay hands on you. I'm just telling you. So that's as a coach, you're pretty stoked with that. It's like, yep, I'm telling every one of those motherfuckers that they didn't listen. And this is what I was right about.
Yeah.
And this is how it's gonna go.
It's funny to listen to you talk about it that way because it's sometimes players give you the eye roll, right? Like if you're supposed to have half a man on the outside shoulder, half him on the outside shoulder. If you're coming inside out and you're supposed to be on the near hip, like be on the near hip. It's not we don't just say it because we like to be finite. It's like in real games with real game time speed. If your head's on the other side, that's a full gap.
We can try to replicate it in practice. But guess what? Everything cranks up in a game.
And you're trying to gap people out. So if you're a full gap short, just because of leverage, it looks like a crease.
Yeah. And that little running back from Cincy, he's pretty slick. Like I liked him. He get in there and he didn't fade, $155 of him to get in there and mix it up.
I think if Nebraska's going to put their corners in the run fit and have those safeties fit off of that, those guys got to be a little more firm too. Like
I like when they I like the corners in coverage more and the safety come fluid. Like there's a couple this came a hell in. Like they read it and diagnosed and bam in your face. I like the safeties coming down, the corners staying in coverage more.
Yeah, they play so much man. You get like crack replace or some of those orbit motions where they put that corner in the run fit.
That's fair.
That's tough if you're going to play man, you know.
But you got to answer the bell. You got. I mean, we don't teach you half of it. We teach you all of it. So you better get your shit together.
Verz, would you? DB and I were talking about this earlier. Would you like to see them kind of move away from chasing guys when they're putting guys in motion so much, and kind of have it be more of like a roll to situation?
You want to bump them?
Yeah.
Again, I think that's assessment of what you got.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think if I'm in practice and I say, hey, we'd love to bump this. We'd love, and for those listening to me, bump, like, guy, I'm on the right side of the defense. The guy goes in motion to the left, to the right, whatever. I'm gonna bump the next guy. I'm gonna give you my responsibility. I'm gonna pass that on to you. Mm-hmm. And they must see something in practice they don't like, where it either gets lost in translation or the coverage isn't as good. Mm. And those things all happen. Mm. I don't mind chasing. I think our corners are athletic enough to.
Well, we saw feast or famine, right? If Donovan is in the nickel slot and he's in man and the number 2 motions, mm-hmm. and he actually gets the ball,
like our chances there.
Yeah.
Well, what'd you see Donovan Jones do? He made a play inside out where he slowed him down. He didn't make the tackle in the open field,
but he boxed him.
But he's already going that way.
Yeah, and
he got the. Now, if it would be different if, let's say, he gets picked off.
Sure.
Or one is replaced from 2 and he's chasing inside out, then he's compromised.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see the risk reward of both sentiments.
Chasing,
Yep. Yeah, I got it.
Let me ask.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know our defensive coordinator's name, but that's why he gets paid the big bucks. So coach him up, bud.
How hard do you think it is with what Nebraska does so situationally package wise to play so many guys early? Like, that was the downs. There's risk reward in wanting to be multiple and have depth, right? Like, sometimes feel for what offenses are trying to do to you. You have to kind of see so you know how to play it as an individual unit. Would you agree with that?
To an extent. I mean, but I'm training everybody to do everything, right?
I mean, ideally, yeah.
Yeah. When I feel I get in. Now, here's the thing of it, though. There ain't but one way to find that out.
Got to do it.
I got to put that sumbitch in the game.
Yeah.
And, lean and mean Matt Rule trying to, dude, bro, save some for the rest of us. I mean, God, you're just out there jacked and yoked.
Hey, my man ran like a 4.7 out of the tunnel.
Get off the testosterone replacement, bro. I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, I get it. The other guy got some run because of his tight pants, but didn't coach real well. But geez, dude.
So Coach Foley was getting off the elevator the same time I was Wednesday night. I'm like, Coach, man, he looks amazing. It's like super fit.
Yeah.
I said, Coach Foley, I said, man, you look fantastic. Man, I've been at this a long time, a lot longer than that blankety blank Matt Rule, man. It's like, that's some gun, man. He's like, you just dialed, man, and making the rest of us look. I was like, hey, I get it.
Now, for you, here's a sneaky positive out of this game. Okay, they played a lot of guys. They played a lot of guys. And in the past, when it got down to nut cutting, they would have fucked themselves like they found internet porn, right? But they didn't. Like, they hung in that game. I was super happy for Hartzog because he made a play.
Yeah.
He made a bad play. He got called for holding, and then he made a good play.
Am I being a crybaby? I didn't love that call.
By Cincinnati?
I didn't let him play. Like,
the holding call?
Yeah. Because when the ball came, those guys are just hand fighting. It's just that Malcolm had his back to the ball.
Exactly. And they're going to call it. And I thought the dumber call was Cincinnati trying to go over the top.
Although, from Sorsby's vantage point, I saw what he saw. I think it's a double move against cover 2, man. He probably thinks he's got a whole throw. Like, we've seen Manning hit Marvin Harrison on that. I mean, neither one of those are those guys playing, but I mean, that was the concept he thought that was the concept he thought he saw. I mean, Hartzog he got to the post.
Hey, buddy, it's great that guy recognized, and it's great that he thought he could throw that. But here's the reality: he can't. That dude couldn't throw in the ocean from the beach.
Wow.
His best bet is running that thing. Like, I just pump fake this and run.
I'm like,
come on now. Let's be honest with ourselves. Like, if we're gonna do this, let's be honest. Little buddy should have not thrown that ever.
Little buddy.
And the coach shouldn't have put him in position to throw it.
Oh shoot! All right, Matt.
You're in position. You're in position to push every hot button for every Nebraska. You have a chance to silence 60,000 people by just going down and kicking a field goal, and every Nebraska fan in that stadium is going to go, "Oh shit, here we go."
Dude,
we are in overtime.
Hey, outside of the kids, the collective BA in there had to be at least 0.19, 0.2, man. It was incredible. I was walking down on the field. It smelled like liquor.
Good. Okay, Kansas City, I don't like you anyway, but pull your head out of your collective ass. If you think you are going to open that tailgate lot for Nebraska's fan base at 3 p.m., you are dumb. And I told her, you ask Footy when you talk to him next time, I told him, I said, they're going to back, you watch. I'm like, they're going to back that parking lot up out on the 85, and people are just going to get out and start boozing.
Yep.
And the state patrol's going to come up and say, get these people off of my thoroughfare because somebody's going to die because they are drinking on the side of the road.
You know what they do? They caved and they started letting them in early because that's exactly what happened.
Well, yeah. I mean,
that's exactly what happened.
This is what we do. Like they put that out, and I'm like, that's never going to work. Good luck with that.
We're getting there at 2.
It was unbelievable.
Noon.
There was enough somebody down there Thursday. They're probably sitting in their car drinking at noon. I'm first in line. Clark Griswold.
That's what happened. So Keith Mann said that. He said, hey, I pulled a Clark Griswold. He's the only car there. And there are people outside the entrance gating to the tailgate of the tailgate. It's 10 o'clock. He's the only car there.
Our beloved fan base is frothing at the mouth because the talking heads have said, oh, my God, Nebraska's going to get into the CFP. Okay, let's just pump every break we've ever touched in our life on that one. And let's just win games. Like, let's learn how to win. For those of you that don't have good blood pressure, okay, get your meds up because this is not a team that's going to blow people out, right? This is a team that's going to be in games to the end, and they are going to learn how to win again, okay? They did it in this game. They had every opportunity to piss down their leg and lose that game, and they didn't. That is the biggest bright spot I take out of this game. And the second one is the way that the coaches are navigating these early games, okay? And everybody's like, oh, my God, can you believe they rotated 3 tackles? Yes, I can, because they took a shot and said, we're playing all 3 of them. And guess what? By Michigan, ain't but one of them going to play. So they went to those guys and they said,
that's how it's going to go, too.
They said, hey, you 3 who cannot separate from each other, you are going to get live auditions. You are each going to get a snap. We're going to rotate like we were in Pee Wee football. Everybody's playing. And the one of you that mans up and ends up being the best, graded out of all these, you're starting the rest of the way. So here you go, boys. Good luck. And I love it because there's no better way to find out than you're in the live fire. Now, if we watch that, 2 of them were far better than the other one. Okay? Not going to put names. You make your own decision. The one I like decided he wanted to jump off sides of the goal line, which I just about pulled the knife out and split him because I was like, buddy, I got my neck out for you, and we're jumping off sides at the inch line. Like, we can't do that. Okay? Please stop that. Please. It would make my life a lot better. You just stop that. But in my eyes and in my view, one of them shocked me how good he was. One of them I knew was going to be good. And there are 2 leaders in that competition now. So 3rd place, better get your game up. And I loved it.
That is our guy, Matt Vrzal, on a
You did all that morning. Saying barely any names. Too,
love.
I think I know your order.
Love to hear that.
You know my order.
We will. I hope you enjoy the rest.
Hey,
of the
Robbie. By the way.
Yes, sir.
how many guys can you have? Like, you got my guy, Michael Severe, my guy, Burrs, my guy. Like, you got to start to play hard to get it sometime, bud.
Hey, listen, you don't get to come on the show unless you're my guy.
Oh, got it.
He said, hey, man, play hard to get. You got 0 cents, Matthew. 0.
We'll talk to
you fuckers. Have a good one.
We'll talk to DB's guy, Matt Vrzal, later. We'll see ya. That is the show for today and for the week. Don't forget, we are off on Monday, so enjoy your Labor Day. We will be back on Tuesday to get right back at it. At some point, I hope to God DB gets a warm meal and a warm bed and can figure that all out. But until then, we'll talk to you folks later. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.